Oh, hello. Welcome back to episode 2 of Long Beach by Night. Tonight's episode is The Gray Ghost. We are being joined by a special guest that we will introduce shortly, but first let us start in a bizarre twist of messing with your expectations. At the other end of the table,
Dun dun dun! It's me, surprise. I'm D'Artagnan Mataliano, and I'll be playing Alquist Lassire, and that's all I got for you right now.
Hi, I'm Josephine McAdam, and I'm playing Valentina Sartori.
I am Melee, and I am playing Lula Castile.
Sam DeLuff, playing Reese Coogan.
Hi, I'm Ash, and I'm playing Vi.
Hey, I'm Alcon Gersh, and I am playing the late, great Saint Valentine.
and
He's
special
also a
guest.
Hello, I am special guest Joseph Limbaugh, and I am playing Dr. Cornelius, who you will meet shortly.
At a dramatically appropriate moment.
Excellent.
I'm B. Dave Walters, newly in high definition. That is a lot of pores to be able to see in 4K, but here we are. And again, this game is not canonical to Los Angeles by Night, but it is adjacent, story-wise, to the events of LA by Night. It is in continuity with the games that have taken place on my Patreon and on the Discord roleplay server. So if you would like to be a part of this and understand the significant number of the inside jokes, patreon.com/B Dave Walters. When last we left, you all had fled San Diego with federal agents hot on your heels from an Inquisition uprising that you only kind of caused. Maybe not caused, just made like a lot worse. You got a little murdery. The beast wants what it wants. You gathered your now friend, Alquist, and fled north
Best friend.
to your friend Saint Valentine, who owed you a favor for an indeterminate reason and had been laying low with him for a while. You were joined with Valentina, who recently released from Inquisition custody for reasons with which she herself does not quite recall how she even fell into their clutches, but is also laying low in Long Beach by doing the opposite of that, which is getting mixed up publicly with all of this insanity. A group of people approached St. Valentine's Haven looking for Vi. Their names were Titan, Mimas, and Dione, who claimed to be family members of Vi's. Vi did not seem to want anything to do with them, and upon leaving, they left a handwritten letter on parchment and a gold brick from 1874. Inside, you were given an address and told that there is a drug house where Kindred are creating unusually potent drugs that have been responsible for several Kindred overdoses and threaten to bring the Inquisition down on everyone, and that you should go shut them down. You were given pictures of men in extremely tacky tracksuits with thick gold chains frequenting the establishment, what looked like gangsters of some sort, Latinos with their tatted up in the low-riding Cadillacs and things, and in the house itself. And you were given an address that is across the street from DeForest Park in North Long Beach, roughly 15 minutes from St. Valentine's Haven. Upon arrival, both St. Valentine, Lula, who currently is with us, Lula? Genevieve, and Valentina were beset by a vision of the park across the street that is absolute swirling chaos. Spirits are rampaging and battling each other and fighting and scraping, and a faceless woman slammed into the side of the car, loud enough that even those of you without the special sight were able to hear her. So you are currently in the car at the end of the block, the black service that Valentina was able to summon, which still has the driver and the 3 mortals inside. When the car shakes with the jump, they sort of like tense up visibly and immediately direct their eyes to the floor.
Okay, we all heard that, so...
Everything is just fine. Forgot I was Southern for a moment.
You forget that often?
No, not often.
You all see all the ghosts around us right now, correct?
They don't, not usually. Why would they?
You're so quick to speak for me, Jesus. I see things.
He doesn't. I don't see ghosts. What's going on right now, please?
I'm gonna activate Eyes of the Beast.
Okay, so there is a faceless woman who is ramming her face against the side of this window.
Probably she lost her face.
Correct.
Vi, when your Eyes of the Beast activate, your eyes fill with the reddish glow of second sight, and the night lights up for you to what would be midday for most. And as you look across the park, you see nothing. There are picnic tables, playground equipment. One of the swings is very slowly swaying in the wind. Somebody shambling around, might be some homeless guy. Like, it's hard to say. He's way over there. Seems to be minding his own business. But you don't see any swirling maelstrom of restless spirits.
I look back to the house. Do I see folks there?
The guy that is standing outside by the mailbox with the toothpick has very much taken in the black sedan at the end of the block and is looking straight towards you guys.
Is that one of the guys in the photo?
He's dressed like them. It's hard to say if it's exactly one of them. But he just seems to be like
You
chewing
said there
on
were
the
three
toothpick and
people
looking.
in the photo.
Yes.
Were they? You described them as all being in like this in sort of tracksuits with that kind of stuff. Can I see any sort of hierarchy between them? Does one of them look?
They're just standing around, and they would be hard pressed to be more cliche than they are.
Okay.
Which is saying something.
And
Saint Valentine.
Everyone sees them, yes. The
Oh, yes.
tracksuits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, currently there is only one man in the tracksuit that you
Single
can see. There was
tracksuit.
3 in the photo. Apparently they have summoned an insect swarm to attack me here in the dark. They
All right.
they possess high-level animalism.
So I'm going to start performing a ritual with the photograph, illuminate the trail of prey, but on one of the ones that's not the guy I see out there. Because one of the guys in the picture I see there, right? Or could be.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because you're down the block.
Yeah, so I'll just pick 50-50 between the other two, and I want to perform illuminate the trail of prey.
All right. Go.
So that's 10, is that 10 minutes? Or?
I believe it is 10 minutes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm just hanging out in the limo here, guys. I've got a little something I'm working on.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes per level, so.
If I take him out, will that interrupt what you're doing?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Great.
I'm just looking for see if any of the people in this picture are coming and going from this house right now.
You,
What you all see is Saint Valentine pulls out a ribbon and soaks it in his own blood and lights it on fire. Right there in front of you.
Shit, can you not in a closed space?
yeah, let's get outside.
Is the ghost gonna...
We're fine.
Were you gonna get cancer?
Can they do that? I mean,
I'm always impressed by your sorcery.
Thank you.
Outside the window, the woman rakes her fingernails down the outside of the car. This time, you all do not hear this. Saint Valentine, you hear it, but you're very much concentrating on what you're trying to do. Lula and Valentina.
Valentina. Yeah, okay. I'm glad it's not just me.
Oh, what? Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Maybe I should step outside and talk to her.
Who?
The ghost that they just told us about.
Right. Where do you need me?
No. I'll be back in a moment.
Be careful though.
Have you got other things to do?
No,
Hopefully.
I'm just worried if there are ghosts surrounding us and making all that noise earlier. Is it wise to step out?
I mean, are we gonna sit here forever until the
Do you want to just maybe
As
just
they're
crack
doing
the
this,
window
I'm
a
out the
bit?
door already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You open do you go out on the side where you can see the ghost woman, or do you go out on the other side?
I will get out on the other side and talk across the car to her.
The moment you get out, she's down from here and she lifts up. And you can see, even though she is blue and spectral, when you look right at her, she starts to like coalesce more. And you can make out the mottled kind of bluish white flesh of a person who's long dead. and she's wearing a 60s style dress that probably would have, if you had to think of a housewife would wear it, was probably that, with kind of like a lace frill around her neck, but it is coated in blood. And blood has run all the way down the front. And all of the flesh of her face is gone. It is basically just ragged meat.
May I roll a cult to see if I recognize what it is that's exactly off about her? Because obviously, if she has no face, she's not a normal ghost.
Her face is off.
You can roll a cult, yes. It's literally face off. Is what, yeah, right.
I'm gonna crack the window just a smidge, just to
Let that fly out.
listen in. Make sure no murdering happens.
Relax, everyone.
Oh, we were gonna go do some murder.
Right.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah.
I like Lula,
Yeah.
and I would rather she not get murdered by a ghost.
I mean, not murder would be ideal, yes.
So I'm just gonna crack that window open, keep an eye out and an ear out on what's happening.
5 successes.
What you do know from your experience in these matters is these spirits can manifest however they want. For whatever reason, this is how she feels like you need to see her. And she looks at you while you're looking at her and says, "He took it! He took it!
He took your face?
Yes! He took it!"
Why?
She pushes, you see her, and all of you feel the car kind of like just shake.
Oh,
Oh, that's
He took it!
Who? Who?
So you can see
I don't
her.
remember. I don't remember. But he took it. Look at me. He took it.
I'm gonna step out.
Okay. When you open the door, she steps back to like give you enough room to get out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to compel her to tell me who.
Roll your 6 dice. The rest of you that are in the car, you're actually not Saint Valentine, who is performing this ritual, but Vi, Reese, and Alquist, give me your wits and awareness.
3.
What exactly are you asking her to do?
To tell us who, just in case it's willful negligence of detail here.
8.
You see, Tracksuit is watching all of this, and when the two of them get out of the car, he pulls a cell phone out and is like,
I exit the vehicle,
I follow.
and I'm gonna turn on my feral weapons.
okay, I believe you need a rouse check for feral weapon.
I do not.
You do not. All right.
They just come out.
I'll activate prowess.
Wolverine style.
Okay. He doesn't seem to flinch while you're approaching. He's just on the. He's still on the.
Oh,
phone
no, I do. I'm
while
so
you're
sorry.
talking. Yeah, ha ha. Yes.
I
Saint
failed my
Valentine.
rouse check on activating prowess. I'm up to
It's
3
Gone
now.
forever.
So, when you go to activate prowess, you hear a familiar voice echoing through your mind, Reese. It's like, I don't even know why you bother. I don't even know why you don't just like crack open one of the heads right now. You can see what's inside there. You can get him to talk. All you gotta do is go put your hands around his head and start squeezing until he tells you what you want to know.
Can we go yet? Go. All right. I want to go up, get up on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you walk up casually or do you like run quickly?
With purpose.
Okay, when you stride up, he's like, no deliveries today, my friend. We close today.
Oh, but I have one for you. Can you just sign for it?
He's like, we don't got nothing coming today, no? No, I don't know, man. You might want the one the other houses down the street, eh?
Oh, I don't know about that. Yank. Throw him to the ground.
you're gonna yeet on him, okay?
Yeah.
Saint Valentine, roll your strength and brawl, and you can add your potence. Saint Valentine, you see a spectral trail appear
Okay.
that leads forward right into the house, specifically up to the second floor of the house.
All right. So I describe that to people.
Okay.
It's Yeah, upstairs actually. One of the people in this picture. One of the people that we're supposed to. Yeah, have we discussed how we're going to handle this? Are we just going to ask them nicely to not sell their drugs here anymore?
That could be an option.
I feel like that's about the time Reese lays hands on this guy.
Yeah.
You're like, are we just gonna talk nicely? Wow, boom.
Yeah.
Outside, what exactly are you compelling her to do?
Tell me who did this, and then I describe the gentleman who's getting his face slammed into the ground just to see if it's them. Drug, tracksuit, gold chain, anything. Tell us something.
No. Not them. Not them. Not the ones like you. Not the dead ones. No. You look. And she immediately changes, and she looks just like you, Lula, but dead and worn, with like bugs and maggots crawling all over her, like a worn, desiccated corpse. Not one like you.
What?
Him!
What is your name?
Aliza.
Is there anything we can do to help you, Elisa?
He took it! And she turns and stalks back over towards the park.
Well, that was delightful.
Indeed it was. Okay, well, Aliza, not to do with this drug gang, I guess. We'll address it later?
Right when you say address it later, a cold gust of wind blows out of nowhere. It's October, but this is Southern California. It's still fairly warm, and you very much are like... How many successes when you put your hands on him?
7.
Okay. So what exactly do you intend to do to him?
I'm grabbing him by the shirt and throwing him down to the pavement with the intent to stun, and then I'll haul him off.
Yeah.
When he's like, we got no more delivery, you flip him over, and he hits the ground, and when he hits the ground, the pavement cracks under him. But he just like looks at you like he's mad. And immediately...
And I'm also right behind them.
Yes. Well, I mean, you see all of this.
Yeah.
When you throw him to the ground, he whips his legs up over your arms in an arm bar. And you feel, you're like, oh, ow, actually, that's actually not good. You see, he's like, take on him with me, duh. What would you like to do, Vi?
I would like to go straight for his throat with my claws that I have just grown.
Strength and brawl, and your feral weapons add to the damage, I believe. Your feral weapons, +2 modifier to your brawl damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yes.
you said strength and brawl?
Yes. Yes, you all that are outside, you also, right at that exact second, you see Reese, boom, like go down to claw this guy.
When you say cold breeze, like the breeze of death, or...
An unnaturally cold breeze, yes.
Nothing major, just a 10.
10 successes? What exactly? Because +2, I will tell you, OOC, that is actually sufficient for decapitation. It's not aggravated to him. Actually, it is not enough to take his head clean off, but it is enough to hurt him really badly. So, what would you like to do?
I just want to take my hand and stab it through his throat. That's all.
When you
Just
go
that?
through, again, you're like, I'm going to go down into the pavement and shear this guy's head clean off. Like, I mean, you've done this before. And your claws do bite into him, but he's incredibly hard. Like, he's physically very tough when you hit him.
It happens.
Yes.
I made eye contact,
Yes,
and it was
it's like what should have like punched through him like up to your elbow.
Yeah.
You get about 2 knuckles, and he does go like.
Oh, cool.
Alquist, what are you doing during
I
all
am
of
not
this?
hard. So
I don't know what you're into.
you're about to find out. So no one else is in the room. I mean, in the vehicle with me.
St. Valentine is still in the vehicle.
But they're like doing their thing.
Right.
They're like,
There is the driver who has not acknowledged you in any way whatsoever, and the three mortals that are very desperately trying to look at the floor like none of this is happening.
awesome. Can I just like seduce all of them?
Sure. Yeah.
Who are you seducing?
You would roll.
All three of them.
You would roll your charisma plus your
They can't see me.
We are
Persuasion.
right outside the vehicle.
You don't
Right.
know this.
The window
if
is
the SUV is a
cracked.
knocking.
Or otherwise focus.
I mean, the
The w-
SUV's a rocket. Don't come
The
and knock.
window is cracked.
that would be your manipulation and your persuasion. Yes.
Surely we can
You
hear
did this.
the window we are directly next
This
to
is
if
my
it is
fault?
open.
It's a lot's happening right now. There's a ghost war happening across the street. Two of your friends are actively wrestling the shady mobster, and this is the moment that your sleazy Ventru decides to make a move. Yeah, right. Because if not now, when? We are what we are. Yeah.
What was it? Persuasion.
yeah.
It is manipulation and persuasion. If you would like to activate awe, you can also add your
Yeah, let's just go all
presence dice to this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So wait.
I'm
So,
rolling
I
my
can say
eyes
that.
and starting a new ritual. So
Okay.
yeah.
And then,
Want to just make eye contact the whole time.
and then also presence.
Would you like to use your
yes.
presence? Yes.
Let's odd up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
they look at you like a cat staring at a Christmas tree. Their
You're at
eyes become
200,
huge.
right? Okay, good.
Oh,
Yeah. hmm Have at it.
All right. This could go either really good or really bad.
Best will fail. Let's go. Oh, I see one skull. Oh, you've evaded me.
4, 5. So 5 successes.
Mhm.
What exactly are you asking them?
We're about to have a freak night. It's gonna get real crazy. I want to basically have a 3-way.
Would that not be a
A
four-way?
4-way?
I'll watch.
You.
So it's very hard to stay
I'm like,
serious.
make a willpower check there. St. Valentine is like, can you watch
Yeah,
this?
you're just in the
I'm trying to
vehicle.
perform a blood ritual here. Could you have an orgy somewhere else, or maybe another
There
time?
is no other place or time for this. Right now is the best time. Let me tell you.
You,
I know the best time, and this is the best time.
you
so
do
much.
find them particularly willing to provide whatever it is you're asking for.
Fantastic.
Even the one that's a Saint Valentine fan.
I mean, they can be fans of lots
How
of stuff.
fickle is the mob?
Yes.
How fickle
I
indeed.
didn't mention when I rolled that 10, it was because I had 4 critical dice.
You did not mention that. That is incredibly relevant.
Yeah.
With 2 crits, you are in fact able to jam your fingers much further. Still, it should have gone all the way through him. But it didn't.
Normally.
Yeah, but he very much like stiffens up for a moment, which you all have seen Torpid Kindred before. You yourself have seen Torpid Kindred a number of times, Reese. And as a byproduct of this,
Present company
when-
included.
yeah, he basically just freezes up, still holding on to your arm.
Can I just
I'll break
mention
the
one
grapple.
thing?
Yeah.
Before we get to the
With-
murdering
yes.
and the death real quick?
Yes.
Just one sexy thing.
If not now, when?
Actually, it's nothing to do with sexy
Literally
things.
any other time.
But I also just want to drain them of all their blood completely.
All 3 of them, or just one?
Yes, all 3.
After you drain the first one, that will reduce your health, your hunger to 0. So there's actually no mechanical benefit of killing the other 2 unless you
Can I
feel
just
like
kill
it.
them just because?
Yes. St. Valentine, after you see the first person slump to the floor, very much dead, and he turns his eyes on the second one, do you do anything or do you let him proceed?
I thought he was in the ritual.
He's in
Well,
one, but I mean,
yeah, but he's in the vehicle.
he's
with
still
you.
aware of murder
Shut your
happening
face.
like 4 feet away from him.
You're making a mess. A mess in Val's car. She's gonna be mad.
I know.
And I'm gonna like that.
I'm sure you will.
I want to open the moonroof
Mm-hmm.
and finish casting my essence of air ritual, and then I drink the potion. And I want to fly up out of the moonroof.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
cool.
Uh,
That's out of
you
character
all
for
see
sure.
St. Valentine
Wait.
literally come flying out of the roof. There is no particular noise or commotion because, again, being fed upon is pleasurable. So they don't scream, they don't struggle. They just.
Tasty.
And you feel calm. oddly satisfied. That gnawing, aching hunger that lingers in the back of all kindred's minds, at least for a short time, is silent.
Can I put them up like they're still?
Which one? Which one did you? Wait, all three?
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put them back in the seats. They would look like they're sleeping, really.
That's what I want to do. Gorgeous.
They don't protest or scream in any
Being
way.
fed upon is pleasurable to the last drop. They
But
enjoy
after the
it.
first person dies, they still
Even they wouldn't.
in between, the interim to the kiss.
Oh well, they wouldn't. Honestly, they wouldn't know the person was dead if they were just unconscious, because they just slumber. They look happy when you lay them down. It is monstrous and barbaric, but right about then you hear, and from the top floor of the window, bullets come raining down on the two of you, somewhat ineffectively. And you notice when they hit the body of the man laying on the sidewalk, they bounce off of him.
Okay. So, have they broken the grapple?
Yeah, once he
So I'm basically gonna, like, with my hand still in his neck, basically, like, get on the ground and use him as a shield, and then pull out one of my guns and aim it at the
Is
person.
some sort of cover. Yes, you can see up in the top window there is someone with an AK-47 shooting at you guys. Poorly.
I want to clarify.
This is
The bullets that we found in that clip with the blue tips were 9mm?
They were not. They were larger than 9mm, but smaller than 357. They're a very unusual load of ammunition.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just going to shoot at them.
Okay. And Reese, what are you doing?
I'd like to activate Fleetness, run on up, and greet them.
Okay. You two standing in the street, Lula and Valentina.
Can I tell anyone nearby me has died, considering what I'm opening my sight to?
You see, while you're looking at this, standing next to you on the street, the three mortals from inside the car. They look down and they look sort of like confused for a moment, and they turn and look at the two of you, and they're like, what else can we do?
Aren't those your people?
Are you happy with our service? Did we do a good job?
Amazing, you've done everything that you possibly could. Be free.
When you say that you be free, behind them a light appears, and they kind of like stop and look at each other, and they hold hands, and they're like, "We did our best. We're free." And they turn and they go and they walk into the light and they disappear.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna open that car door.
Alquist, what are you doing inside, sitting next to these people that look like they're sleeping?
I'm reading a book.
What book?
The Art of War.
Here's the people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sun Tzu.
Oh, you are a glutton, aren't you?
I couldn't hear you. What was that?
What did you do? Why?
Them?
You've made a mess. You've made a mess. Bless.
They're just
your
sleeping. I don't know what you're
heart.
talking about.
Lula, what are you doing during this exchange?
I'm going to lean in real quick, and as soon as I see this bickering going on, I'm going to look up and out and away towards where I might have seen possibly other dead people somewhere else other than whatever this is.
Well, there's a number of dead people in the park. There is St. Valentine literally flying through the air, and there is assault weapon fire taking place.
So many
on the
things
block.
to look at.
I
Lot going on.
need my assault fire. I'm gonna head slightly towards where they are, and if I hear that going down, but still kind of ducked behind things and not like right in the middle of it, but just close enough that I can keep an eye on them.
Vi, give me your dex and firearms to return fire here. Are you using the Peacemaker?
Can't use my rifle in my current position.
It's true.
I got an arm in a guy's throat.
Why is life so hard?
Okay.
You also, Sam, give me your strength and brawl to see if you can force the door open.
So that's a 6 with a critical success. 2 of them, in fact. Well, I mean, like 2 of the die that have this, so it's 1 critical. You know what I mean.
Got it. On the regular dice or on the
All
blood
on
die?
regular dice. The hunger die is blank.
You hear, boom, 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 gah, fuck, and the shooting stops.
6.
6.
The fuck even is a
You
door?
bust through it, and it's fairly secure. Actually, it was when you hit it, you notice you leave a Sam-sized shoulder dent, Reese-sized shoulder dent in the door.
Yeah,
As
a much bigger shoulder to be fair.
As if, I prefer thinking it's this shoulder, honestly, but yes, cracks open, and when it leans in, you notice even though it was painted and looked like wood, it is actually bronze. Is the door. Inside, there is, even though the house outside looks like a very normal suburban hut, that you would expect anyone to live in, parents, 2.3 kids. Inside, it is bizarrely Victorian. There is no signs of electricity. All the lamps appear to be powered by gas. There are wooden cabinets that have strange copper coils emerging out of them. There are flues like working.
Good lord, is this another old ass Kendrick? Because if I have to explain a smartphone to one more vampire.
The moment you come in, you hear someone yell out, "Get out of here! I'll kill him! I'll blow this whole house up!"
With my celerity, I'm gonna run up toward the noise.
When you get upstairs, you're in a room where you see a man holding an assault rifle, but like holding his stomach, bleeding profusely, and it's down to the ground. There is another man standing, both of them in these same tracksuits, holding 2 9mm pointing at you, shivering while he's got them. And behind him, there is a man who literally has a tether around his wrist and is shackled to a large piece of equipment that looks like an elaborate chemistry set of some kind. There are beakers and glass bars going across. There's things that are bubbling and foaming coming out of it. There's Bunsen burners, and everything is still wooden and copper. And there's an odd purple glow around one of the vials that is just like trickling outwards one by one. What does this man look like?
He's probably in his 50s, grayish hair on the sides of his. He's dressed much like this. And he says, "Oh, salutations. More visitors."
The man with the 2 guns points one of them at you and says, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yes, of course.
So
I'm
polite.
going to, at top speed, eliminate the maximum number of guns in the hands of people who aren't me.
St. Valentine, you come floating over and you can see through the big bay window upstairs. It is an elaborate, almost stained glass that is up there. And hang on, I need to see something here that I can describe what it looks like to the best of my ability. You see etched in the window. It is not visible from the street, but it is you can see anyone that is up on the 2nd floor could see it.
Yeah.
There are words written on the window, and it says, "Everything is true, anything is possible."
Oh, okay. That went a different way than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It started out seeming like a familiar phrase.
There are, and around it, there is an odd symbol that is like there is a diamond, and inside the diamond there is a downward facing triangle, and inside of that is like a compass with an eye in the center.
Okay, so I have a occult specialty in alchemy and blood magic. So how many dice would I roll to make a check to identify if this is this part of any sort of cult or practice or whatever that I know? Is this
Your alchemy specialization would apply, so you get 1 more die. So
Okay.
you would roll wits plus your occult.
okay?
And you can add the extra die for your alchemy specialization.
All right.
Vi, once the shooting stops, what do you do?
Well, I still have my hand in this guy. And if I take it out, that'll be a problem. Huh.
You do know enough about kindred physiology. It would take him some time to recover. He would recover, but it's not like the moment you pull it out, he won't be like, ha!
Yeah, but
So,
it
he will recover if you don't inflict any more damage, though, yes.
Okay, I just shoot him in the head.
The first time you're like, bang! But again, it should have splattered him across the pavement, and it doesn't.
Does it hurt him at all?
It puts a hole in him.
Great.
But it should have put a significant hole in him, and it didn't.
A little hole is fine. It's
Right.
just a little bit more. It helps. Anyway.
Right.
And then I pull my hand out and then just follow Reese inside the house.
Okay. You two, so while you were approaching, you have now seen Vi go into the house. What would Lula like to do?
I was just gonna follow him in the house.
Okay, who's currently Genevieve? All right. Genevieve is going to follow into the house. Yes. Again, you witnessed the scene that I described before. Give me wits and awareness. Both Vi and Lula, wits and awareness. Oh, that was a roll.
Concealed
Oh,
objects
no.
apply.
Did it change?
Yes.
I don't know what it is interpreted, how to interpret it, so I need to.
Oh, what are you trying to figure out?
What I rolled.
Nice.
There were at least 4 successes.
Well,
Here, I have something that will help you momentarily.
this is for my check, for my alchemy check.
Yes.
I rolled on 3 of the black dice were successes.
Here you go.
Then one of the black dice was a critical success, but then the red die was also a critical
Okay,
thing.
so it's
it was a messy critical.
Oh,
Is that
hey.
Messy
So that is a messy critical. So how many? So those
7.
messy criticals. So 4 and 7 total.
So I have a total of 7, I think.
You feel a wave of excitement take over you. The likes of which you can hold on to it because I know what those are.
All right.
A wave of excitement that take over you that you have not felt since your mortal life.
Now you're good.
This is the symbol of the sons of ether. This is real magic.
Yes.
Like when you were still alive, you'd heard tell that there were mortals that really could do actual magic and you never quite found out. But you've been reading all this time, that's that symbol.
This is the real shit that like steampunk is based on.
As real as it gets. Yes, this is as real as it gets, Saint Valentine, and you are quite aware of that.
Oh,
That's the voice I was talking about.
I'm
serious.
I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. Is there an opening in this window? Can I open this window and go inside?
There is a door there. Like
Someone did shoot through it, so
Oh,
yeah.
the door is on the second floor.
That is on the second floor. It's like stained glass on doors. The shooter was shooting out of one of the windows.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I open the doors and step through.
Inside the car, Valentina.
Listen, you've made a mess.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, you know what I mean. There are bullets flying. Our friends are smashing people's
Yes,
faces.
so stop
There
blazing
are-
about and let's go there. And when I say that, I just want to like really push right past her.
Nope, I'm gonna try and mesmerize him.
Can I?
Oh,
Roll
man.
it. Manipulation and dominate.
Can I have the unswayable mind? Yeah.
I mean, unswayable mind means your fortitude is added to your ability to resist.
Yeah, I did not want to say that. That's why I eat it.
Resist the shit out of you.
So,
Hopefully. Can I counter mesmerize? Can we mesmerize each other?
I've had mesmerized duels with people. Alquist is your intelligence and resolve, and you can add your fortitude dice to
I'm
that.
gonna lose control.
No.
What was your strength and brawl to try and decide
Wait,
with
do I?
guidance?
What do I?
Was the,
Am I supposed to
we
do
had to
something?
call the roll.
Oh,
Either
yes,
way,
strength and
What
brawl.
what is he rolling against it?
He is rolling his intelligence and resolve. And Dr. Cornelius, while all this chaos is taking place, you realize there's a moment that no one's paying attention to you.
Ah, yes, I will put my plan into action. Now that I have some allies, seemingly, I will put
Right, 'cause
the
you
device that I had been assembling in my captivity to use.
Well, I already.
Oh no, because you.
What would you like to do with the device?
Oh, I'm going to plunge it into the nearest ruffian who's standing near to me and activate it.
I will roll this for you, Dr. Cornelius. You all see him pick up a box off the table. It is small, oblonged with like 2 prongs, and on the back side of it there is a coil with a small bit of electricity. And Dr. Cornelius walks up behind the wounded man holding the AK, who's struggling to lift it as they see Reese struggle forward, and grab the guy with the 2 guns and immediately start breaking things, grabbing a hold of it. Reese, roll your will. Dr. Cornelius, you jam this into the man. And he's like, "What the fuck did you? And you see green bile start pouring out of his mouth. Very curious. That isn't what you thought would happen. And with like down around where his guts are, the blood stops coming out, and this greenish bile starts coming out of him again. And he turns around like, what did you do? And he literally begins to destabilize. And
no, because it's been 2 weeks. So
curious.
Most fascinating. Most fascinating.
Did I see this?
You saw all of that happen, St. Valentine, as you come floating in through the window.
I immediately pick up the small box and start fiddling with it. Oh, the settings are accurate. I don't know what happened here.
1.
Yep, 1 willpower.
It's 4 and 4.
4 and 4. Ties go to the attacker.
Son of a biscuit.
Well, though either of you can spend willpower to
No,
reroll.
we both did
Right.
already.
We've been doing
Because I
it.
originally.
fighting.
Ties go to the attacker. What do you mesmerize him to do?
You can continue while I figure that out.
Just remember, he will do
Exactly right.
what you say.
Let me read the
Yes,
rules.
Vi.
The awareness check I got 2.
2?
I got
3.
3.
This place is insane. Like, you're like, what? There are no trappings of modern life whatsoever. The light fixtures are weird. There are no wall sockets. There is no central air. It is like somebody took something out of a Jules Verne novel and just wrapped a thin veneer of a normal mortal house outside of
It
it.
just feels like normal to me.
Not even no, because there's still, this isn't just old-timey. Like, this is different. Like, again, there...
Sorry, when I say feels normal, I mean like feels like back then, as opposed to.
No.
Oh,
Like, there was never a time that life was like this. Right? Yeah.
Is there any particular inanimate object that stands out in the room, especially since the unseen going on?
Since the unseen would be a different role.
Well, I would like to activate Spirit's Touch if I see anything standing out in the room.
How many successes did you get on your Sense the Unseen?
I think it was 6.
Yeah, all right. This place, everything's magical. Like, there is nothing mundane in this entire place. Literally everything is glowing with some sort of charge or residue or implication. Like, in fact, the thing that sticks out to you the most is you actually can make out, like, footprints that are kind of through the energy. It's almost like every place a kindred foot has touched, that is what has dissipated some of the magic of the place. Otherwise, this entire thing is magical. Yes.
Could I say,
Let's just skip her for now.
follow me and grovel at my feet?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good use
Alquist,
of time.
do you have the ability rationalize?
No. I don't care if he, and I wouldn't use it. I want him to know.
Right. Yeah. Alquist, you're like, but you do it. You do follow and grovel.
Can I complain the whole time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
Fantastic.
we'll walk in, follow in.
Yes.
It's a $30,000 suit, and I can't believe you're doing
True. Bye. Yes. That you witnessed the same thing, and you said, did you want a Spirit's Touch? Literally anything in here would work. There is a very large table that has been laid out with what looks like a red, like velvet, or almost like a velour on it that has trays of vials with multicolored fluids on it. And there is a large box that's got kind of a green swirling energy inside of it, which you're not there yet, but you definitely recognize as like spiritual in nature.
I will check that out.
Okay. You can roll that. Upstairs with your one success. Oh, he looks good though. He's struggling and he's fighting and he's got it coming. Oh, he's got it coming.
Oh, I'm dragging him out of this room.
With one success, you are capable of resisting if you so choose. But
Just,
you're like,
just out of the room.
yeah.
Just out of the room. That's all I need. Just out of the room.
Yeah.
A different room.
He fights and curses the entire time, but you are able to take him into an adjacent room.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all together in the same place?
They are not.
Different room.
Vi and Lula are both downstairs. Saint Valentine, Dr. Cornelius are in the room upstairs, and Reese, when you knock open the door to take him in the other room, inside is a far more mundane looking drug lab. Some odd things have been hooked into it. There are a couple of like wood paneled boxes and things that have kind of been like forced into the circuit. But you know, you've seen someone cooking meth before. You're like, oh, that's what that is. You're like, I don't know what that thing is, and I don't know why there's that purple vial there. Like, that's weird. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know my scenery.
And you,
I don't think that's as important at dinner.
How much do you take from him? Again, you hear that voice in the back of your head as your fangs sink into him. And it's like, yeah, that's what we wanted. Show him who's boss. Show him that he needs to fear us. Show him. And the voice is gone. Replaced with nothing but simultaneously the calm of the beast being sated in the reality of what you have done again.
Shouldn't have shot me, fucker. I want to head up to
Saint Valentine.
I am in awe of what you have here. Who
Yes,
are
of
you?
course,
This
of
is your
course.
work, right?
Yes. Meanwhile, I'm going and grabbing all of the cell phones that these people have, and I'm smashing them, and I'm putting them in a box. Yes, it is awesome. Yes.
So, what does it do?
Yes, all of those things. Yes.
What is it for? What do you make with it?
Correct.
While he's talking, Dr. Cornelius, you notice he picks up a tuning fork and he looks at the handcuff that is on him and taps it, and it turns to ice and shatters. Again, curious.
Oh, I believe they've thrown off the calibration of my devices. Troubling. Oh!
These weren't intended
Hello.
outcomes.
Thank you for clearing my house of hooligans.
Are we there?
Who else?
You
Some
actually
people-
hear when he's downstairs, you hear this voice comes through an intercom? Hello. Thank you for clearing my house of these hooligans. And Dr. Cornelius, you do in fact recognize Saint Valentine. In your research, his name has come up more than once.
Oh yes! Saint Valentine. How do you do? I bow deeply.
I match the depth of your bow. Of course.
Were they saying that while bowing?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I really
We
hope
don't.
so.
I bow deeply in action, but not in verbally.
Same.
Silly.
Have we made it into the house?
I've never heard of you, but
I hope not.
I mean, I'm a fan now.
Groveling does
You
slow
had me.
things down.
You had me
I
at
do
random
too.
magic stuff.
None of it's random. Well, some of it's random. It's mostly random. Could you all please put you have cellular devices. Can you place them in this box, please? Would that be all right, please? Thank you.
When, again, you hear this voice downstairs be like, could you put them in this box? And when he says put them in this box, in the wall, kind of a chute sort of opens up with a space in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
I will return them to you, but it is very important. That's how they track you.
He's a crazy.
He's a genius.
I'm
So right now,
Yeah, where-
half of you are upstairs and half of you are downstairs.
And
so
one
hang
of
on,
us
let me
is on the
let me
ground.
resolve your. So how many successes did you get?
8 crit.
8 with a crit. So the table, the vials, or the device are you looking at?
I thought there was a box.
There is a box.
That's what I was looking
What's
at.
in the box? I had to. Okay. We're the Korean. All right. What would you like to know? You
Please
can
keep
pick
this going
three
long enough for my
pieces.
character to see it.
3 pieces of. Oh no, it's gonna keep happening. Yeah, no, for that. No, he's stuck for the duration of the scene.
Wait, how?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. How long is
This
this
one is
happening?
not like the others where it's questions where you can definitely
Rage
know this,
Against the
definitely know that.
Machine?
It's like you can know
It's
stuff.
more of a proof.
It is very vague.
Whatever I pick up.
This box,
I am
while it's
incredibly
like
fast.
clearly technological, there's what's in the box. There are wheels and dials and gears and things that are all rolling on the outside of it, and there's kind of like an electrical charge that goes over the top of it. And while Lula is by no means a technophobe, you're still like, yeah, but that didn't connect to anything, you know? Like things like you comprehend plugging something in. You're like, they're just gears and stuff. Like it doesn't. And as you are looking at it, you start to see the swirl sort of starts to coalesce into faces. Lots and lots of faces. This is a battery of some sort. A very, very old battery.
What happens if I touch it?
Yeah, do it.
I do it.
Right. When you touch it, especially you guys that are down there.
Oh, and we walked in. We're
Oh,
just
yeah,
watching
you
this
walked
happen.
in. When you touch it across the street, every single one of the ghosts goes, "Ah!" You're like, which I know Lula would immediately be like, "Ah!"
Just to make sure.
Genevieve would.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're here.
What?
Alquist, what are you
Just
doing when you walk in during this?
I'm admiring the cobblestone.
Groveling at my feet.
Isn't that what I'm always doing? Well, not always. Hold on.
Yes.
No,
But for this moment.
This whole
I need somebody to
From
say
now on,
something.
the next 4 weeks.
It's like,
What?
here I am.
I see you've sort of. Oh, hello.
This is something I've chosen to do because I think that we, as humans, need to use all 4 of our limbs to walk.
Shh, stop.
So,
Stop.
How are you all? Oh, what's this thing?
Ah!
All right. Can I see anything else emanating?
Dr. Cornelius,
Yes.
someone is interfering with the device.
No. Please, excuse me.
This man comes running down
No.
the stairs.
This belongs in where it belongs. I open a door, I put it inside, I close the door, I turn the door so the combination is scrambled.
Yep.
No. We don't touch that.
It's
Dr.
stick your
Cornelius,
friend.
friends.
Who are you?
I am Dr. Heathcliff Cornelius.
Hello.
At your service. Not literally, but I do owe you a favor for saving my life, I suppose.
I'm just gonna walk right past him and go upstairs looking for
What?
Reese.
Yes, well, we'll
Not
take
even acknowledging
favors.
him.
So
or his
rude.
box.
It's very rude.
Yes, ignore her. She's not quite topped up with manners.
Clearly, she has a deficit of manners.
It's true. I have noticed.
Wow.
Dr. Cornelius, you also notice this attractive, well-dressed man conspicuously groveling at the feet of this other woman.
No,
Like-
your manservant is very well dressed.
Thank
not her
It's nice to
manservant.
see someone who has a butler. I don't.
yeah.
I
don't see that so
see this
often.
happening, and I'm just like,
I can speak, yeah. I can do these things.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
no,
can't
you get-
move.
you
any, I
can
just gotta-
speak. You're just at the
You
ground.
can do
You-
literally
you
anything.
shut your mouth.
You just are
Yeah.
groveling and following the entire time.
He speaks far too much. Try to ignore it if you can.
Ignore her. All right, we as beasts should
I'm going
be
to
on
kick
all
him in the
fours.
face.
Join me. It's fantastic down here.
Who is with us currently?
Madge.
Madge is here.
Madge is here. Yes.
Oh.
Dr. Cornelius, when you look at her, you sort of reach down to the table and pick up a pair of spectacles and sort of adjust the lenses slightly. There is one person here, but 6 shadows.
Oh, well, several pieces.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cornelius.
What was that thing that I poked it and screamed?
Doesn't matter. None of your concern. Not important.
See, last time somebody said that, I missed out a really good concert. There's not things my concern. No, they were screaming. It's important. You seem very uptight, and it's just.
It's a lot of judgments for just meeting someone the first time.
I mean, but
Throwing a lot on me. That's all I'm saying.
Excuse-
Although your company is much better than the ruffians that were here. Yeah, this is an upgrade.
Yes, excuse her. She's new here. Hello. Who are you?
Madge.
Madge. Hi. We're friends with your other selves. What are you? You're dealing with the dead.
On occasion, yes. That is my business.
Really?
Outside, you all hear boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
boom,
that's troubling.
boom, boom, boom,
That's
boom,
very troubling.
and cars pulling up outside the
Oh,
house.
that's not the spirit. That's
Yeah.
not those the
No, this is a spirit battle rap. Yeah,
Beatboxing
that's
outside.
implied.
The spirit's
Right.
beatboxing.
Right.
So they were keeping you hostage to make something for them to put in their drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
Ugh.
Just want to make sure we're getting that
Oh,
right.
or you have something that can mess with Kendrick.
I suppose. Yes.
Does it do that? And I point to the destabilized puddle.
Well, the
That's
destabilized
nice.
puddle's upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm. Although, Vi, when you do run upstairs, you run into this room and there is a pile of something that you wouldn't have imagined is biological, except it's in a tracksuit, just on the floor.
That's new.
Yeah.
Reese? Yeah. Wasn't anyone we knew, right? Great. Let's go.
Fuck is in there, Vi? I just got here.
Also, there's this weird old guy with a box. No idea. Alright, go back downstairs.
As I talk, I'm continuing to clean up, use devices to clean up, fix things, put things back where they belong. Oh, bestial, those gentlemen were bestial, horrible, troubling people.
Yeah, I'm gonna peek outside. Is
Yeah,
there more-
yo. Hey, Valentin, where is you? Hey, man, what happened to the door? Hey, dog, what's going on in there?
Valentin? They calling you?
They telling me
Are they talking?
no.
Do any of you know these?
What do they look like? Do they look...
They look like the other group of people that were in the photos.
Do we have a triplet that we don't know about?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Always a third there is.
Remember he was on the phone?
I suppose we should just see what
Them?
they want.
Probably.
No.
He ain't dead. I figured we could take him back as the...
Can we try not to kill first on these?
Yeah,
Why?
of the
Gentlemen,
three.
you know, we have questions to be answered.
What is happening with that?
What?
That.
Nothing is happening
Oh,
with that.
This
And
is,
I also have a name that you know very well.
This is. I just shove his head in the ground. This is the new
You kind of
norm.
go with it. You're like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, right.
This is what I want
How is
anyway.
this helpful?
Right.
I'd choose this.
Yes, everyone's downstairs currently.
The man killed
Mhm.
3 humans in my vehicle. Okay, all right.
has
No more
nothing to
killing.
do
Can
with
Can we just
anything.
use words? Can we use? I'm gonna open the front door. Hello, gentlemen.
I move up near the door.
Madge, what were you going to do?
I was just very happy to see you again, Reese.
Majesty. Moving as I pass.
You notice Reese looks super laid back, very mellow.
So when you walk out the door, he just crawls behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
want to stand in the doorway looking as majestic as I can with this man groveling at my feet.
The guy looks up and goes, "Hola, mamacita, ¿cómo está?"
Believe me, sir, you don't want any of this.
I'm gonna grab him by the neck and pull him back inside.
Kind of looking at this like, hey,
How does?
Does that work?
it's like, we here for the pickup.
What pickup?
Although you can ride with me if you want to after though. That's cool.
Good luck not killing.
What were you trying to pick up? I'm sorry, I'm helping out some of your friends here today.
He sort of looks around. He's like, where's Valentin? He knew we was coming.
Valentin?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah. Don't you know him? What's your name?
Well, my name's Valentina.
Oh shit, is you like your sister or something? I'm sorry, I didn't mean no disrespect like that. I'm
yes,
sorry.
I'm
It's like
his
you're just very beautiful. I
I'm
wasn't
his
expecting
sister.
you. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
So what can I do for you?
You could just give us the stuff and we.
No, not today.
No, I mean we on a schedule though, Mama. You know.
I know, but like I said, schedule's been pushed. Not today.
He takes a step forward and he's like, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in business with your brother, not with you. So I mean, if he's trying to like back out on me, like we need to have some words. And you notice at this point, 2 of the other guys get out of the car and
Yeah,
they're
how
looking
many
at.
are there?
There's 4 that you can see, and and 2 of them are looking at the crack in the sidewalk.
Mm.
I'm at the window and I've got my gun out and it is reloaded.
Give me wits and awareness.
Cuckoo.
I'm just on the inside of the door
My hunger at.
in your eye
Look
line.
like I can see
with
you
just
right
a little
there.
bit of
When
like
I see her move over there, I'm gonna move
The
behind
say the
her
word
as
eyes.
well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull my pistol from my thigh and I'm
Just
gonna
doing nothing to
stand
see here.
right next to her and also peer out the window.
3.
You can also give me wits and awareness.
B-Dave, I'm going to attempt to repair the defenses of my house.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
3. Okay. You see the 4 that are outside right now, and down the block you see a second car that is parked behind the car that you all rode in, and 2 guys are kind of like looking inside, and one of them is talking to the driver.
Are there any ghosts nearby?
Thousands.
No, like within.
They're directly across the street.
Oh, just across the street though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
10 with a crit.
10 with a crit to see what?
Essentially what's going on outside. What we're looking at, we're scoping up the whole area.
So your 10 with a crit reveals that one of the ones that is talking to the driver has a gun in his hand. And the other one that is looking in the other side like taps on the glass with a gun, and you see one of the humans Alquist killed just slump forward. And you hear him yell, "Oh shit, these people is dead!" Outside, the 2 of them are looking at the cracks in the pavement, and the other 2 are sliding shells into shotguns inside the car.
Alright. They're getting ready to shoot, I think. They're loading up weapons. They don't look friendly.
Are you just,
You
are you just
also-
whispering this behind me, like within?
You also notice across the street, all of the ghosts are lined up watching, just like you saw in your vision.
I don't think they want tea.
I'm gonna throw. Are you Madge right now?
Yeah.
I would throw Madge my pistol, and I'm pulling out my shotgun.
It is very nice. The defenses of the house roar to life, Dr. Cornelius, with a satisfying hum. Again, they messed up everything. They re-altered the switches. The circuits were all broken. They reversed the polarity. The orgone balance was all off.
Not the Ogon.
The orgone balance.
Oh, fumble bums.
But it has now been set to rights.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, I shall pull the giant lever.
Is your intention to use the lethal or non-lethal versions of the defenses?
I am quite put out, and I believe the circumstances call for the lethal version, so full steam ahead.
The man starts walking forward and he's like, hey, look, Mama, you're starting to try my patience. And you hear ashes. All of them, ashes.
Ooh.
He's got a death lever.
I'd like my pistol back, please.
Hey, we don't need any of these. What kind of trick was that? I like that. I like you.
A second later, you hear as every house on the block starts to erupt into flames. Besides this one.
Is that also from your lever?
It's unrelated.
It seems
Possibly.
bullshit.
Possibly
It
unrelated.
seems really related.
We don't have a complete set of data points.
Turn it off.
Click.
And the satisfying hum stops.
But
But the
houses
fire.
are-
How many?
Very
How
much
many
continues.
fires
I can
started
fix it.
in
I
that?
can fix it.
Now!
I can fix the fire. Let me. No, yes. If I change the polarity to a 3-4 tertiary beam, yes, I can do it. I can do this.
Right, exactly. They'd swap the vials. That was the miscalculation.
The harmonics were
Swapped
completely
the
off.
vials. Madge, across the street, this is what you saw. And when you look out the window, the faceless woman is just staring at you.
I think it's time to deal with this ghost problem.
I do too. This is
Wait,
exactly
is
what.
the whole neighborhood still on fire? Is that?
Oh shoot!
So, twist, and you all hear as clouds form overhead.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Yay!
A torrential downpour starts. Like huge drowning downpour.
There are umbrellas in the closet.
We're inside.
Well, you might want to go outside.
Oh,
I'm gonna need to know precisely what the fuck! And I'd very much like to know it right now.
oh, what you're doing is amazing. First of
How
all,
are you all?
It's a bit complicated. What do you know about Precambrian particle tertiary dynamics?
Definitely.
Those words were all made up.
No.
Do you
Oh, no, Precambrian's real.
Derrico's being stuck up again.
Madge,
Hyperborean geometry? Anyone?
Yeah.
Hyperborean?
Oh.
Madge, while you're
alright,
still
alright.
near the window, especially the window that Valentina and Madge is near, because especially you're standing by the doorway and
Oh
you're
yeah,
just
I'm
to the
looking
side
at
of
the
that.
door.
In the fog that has kind of started to coalesce on the windows, because it is not just raining, it also got really cold outside all of a sudden. You see "he took it" appears written in the glass.
We all see this, or just?
No, the words "he took it" are written for anyone can see it.
But the faceless woman put him there.
But it happened right
Right.
next to the two of you. But the words "he took it" are there. Yeah.
I'm gonna point at it. Does it mean anything to you?
It means I believe someone took something. Yeah.
Oh, please don't tell me that
Are
he
you
is
stinging
you.
Did you-
faces?
Either there are more than one gentleman. Yeah,
Did you,
could be.
by chance, rip off a woman's face?
A woman? No.
A- a-
Definitely not.
Did you rip off a ghost's face?
Define ghost, really.
Wraith, spectral, has passed
Translucent,
on, but not all the
spirit of a
way.
dead
Spirit-
person.
Unfinished
But you're
business.
talking about ectoplasmic anomalies. They're
Can you-
not people. They're
Can
merely...
you see them?
So that's a yes, right?
From by some definitions of yes, it is.
With the assistance of some of your apertures and devices, you are capable of perceiving the spirits of the deceased. Yes.
Okay, this
say that.
this one right here.
Right.
Did you take this faceless woman's face?
Across the street, there are stadiums worth of ghosts all lined up, and right in the very front, there is the previously described woman in the floral dress with no face, and she rings no particular bells, but it is true. They're specimens to you. They're rats in a lab. Like, I mean, like that one has a floral dress on now, but who knows what it'll look like tomorrow? Like, I don't know.
She's not familiar.
She doesn't have a face. I don't know how you recognize her.
Right, her
Curious.
dress looks unfamiliar.
What do you use ghost faces for?
What can't you use them for? Really, they're a truly limitless resource.
That is.
I mean, as long as people keep dying.
interesting.
Yes.
I'm just
Uh,
very casually starting
It's
to
very
look for
valid
something I
point.
can break off into a handheld piece of wood. Thank you.
There are a number of items of unknown provenance that you could probably pick. Everything in here is made out of wood. Everything's
Excellent.
wood and wood, brass, and glass are basically the primary components of everything in here.
That's all.
You
Mhm.
mentioned a possible favor. I'm gonna slip a card into his hand. My family could make much uses of your services.
I am at your disposal.
Wonderful.
What exactly is written on your card?
Just her headshot.
Valentina Sartori. Just says a proprietor of Death Free Dinner. And then at the bottom it says in small writing, family first always.
You, Dr. Cornelius, realize that some of the problems you've encountered are related to this particular family.
In a good way or a bad way?
You have not been able to go everywhere you wanted to go.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, there is something you could help me with.
Oh, I could help you.
Well, it might also help you with what you're trying to do.
Keep talking.
Have you heard of the Queen Mary?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have, in fact.
It's an old ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
It's quite the
I mean,
tourist
not everyone's
attraction.
heard of it. It's,
These nights everyone has.
Oh, I see. Well, I would like you to set something up there for me, a device that is, it's complicated.
What does it do?
Several things. But I would be most grateful if you could. I cannot get access to this ship.
Interesting.
I can help you now, perhaps, with something. The ghosts across the street. I could assist you with those somehow.
Could you return their faces?
Can I return their faces? How many faces are there? It seems like a lot of faces. What if we give them new faces for the time being?
I think they want their faces.
They will get faces back eventually.
Or
How
no?
will they are?
They don't really have faces. They just think they have faces. They're not alive. There's no face there.
Yeah, neither are we. You're being real specific when you know we're talking about you did something to them that took away what looks like their face.
Dr. Cornelius, you've theorized that perhaps some of the ectoplasmic energy that you've extracted might have reduced their necroplasmic biomass of some sort that might manifest as not having a face. Like,
there might be some side effects, but with experiments, science must move forward. No?
Look,
No?
I don't mind. I don't care about the wraiths' faces or what have you. I'm interested in your devices in which you could do. I think there's some potential interests here. I will pass. Do you have a card?
Oh, yes.
Looking
around.
When he kind of like shifts around some papers and things, he pulls out a card, which again, Alquist, you instantly realize is incredibly finely pressed gold.
I look up from the cobblestone.
Yeah, it is almost semi-transparent. You can look through it, but it is gold.
I'm even gonna like
The gold
pass
sense.
it in front of his
gold.
face, like
I'm sorry.
like he can't get it.
While we were upstairs, was there a vote taken that put you in charge?
I am also
In
very curious on this
charge.
vote.
Oh, you're a democracy.
I mean, just because
No.
you don't care about the
touching.
thousands of ghosts he's been torturing and the thousands of spirits he's denied from their eternal slumber, doesn't mean the rest of us don't care.
Oh, so that's the vote.
I mean, wraiths are always gonna be present. I mean, you can't even see them, so why do you bother?
Right when you say that, she appears right at the door of the house, and she's like, you all see it as like a distortion of like something like, it's like you, Dr. Cornelius, know this spirit is pressing against your defenses but has no chance of entering them. But oddly, even the fact that she can manifest this powerfully is unusual. You will need to recalibrate the coils when this is all said and done. But
I believe I might want to capture this entity for further study. She's quite powerful. Would please help me with this device? Would you, someone, please? Anyone? You seem to be excited.
you all here.
You know what? Some of the shine of your star is starting to fade for me here a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
I'm moving a little closer to him.
Okay.
Do
Slowly.
any of you know this person? Do you know who she was?
Is
Why do you assume that she's a delightful person?
Eliza.
She did say her
Aliza.
name was Elysia.
That's not a prerequisite.
Does that ring a bell? Eliza, do you have a last name? No, I understand that he took your face. He's weirdo. All right.
She starts like,
Ugh, I'm going to try to capture her in the ghost capturing.
I'm going to.
Do not look directly into the trap. That's a Ghostbusters joke. It's not. You can look at it.
I think we are going to tag team trying to steal this box from him.
I think this is just not a thing that's happening at this moment.
Yes.
Can I do anything?
It's just
No?
yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm just curious. What can
Yes.
I do on the floor?
Literally anything you can
gonna
do. Well, I mean,
take
you
the
can
box.
physically stand while still very much paying all hail obedience to her. Yes,
Is
yes,
this
ma'am.
the same box
I hate
that
this.
had the battery? Is it a different box?
Don't eat my
sounds-
humans.
It is a different box. The battery is still in the closet.
Right. Oh, I thought I put that in a safe.
Oh, you did? Yeah, but then you shut it. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
someone
so
say
a fortified
a
closet.
Do you need someone who can get into a safe?
Aren't you the one that
And
can
it's
get
just
out
a
of the
normal
safe?
safe. It's not a magic safe at all.
I mean, I'm good with both magic and non-magic safes. So I'd
Anyway, we're
like to
attacking
see
him.
this.
Interposing. I'm
Right.
interposing myself between him and the device. I'm not
Right.
making
Look,
a personally aggressive move. It's just
I'm
not.
trying to place her somewhere where she will be comfortable. She's obviously in pain currently, and this is not a painful process. It will simply put her in a sort of coma-like trance.
I have no
Right,
reason
you
to
thought
believe
that, and now she doesn't have a face.
Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie to you?
Madge,
I don't
you
fucking
do
know you.
recognize there is definitely a distinct correlation in the vibration of this woman that's at the door and the energy that you felt from the box. And you saw a number of faces in the box.
Yeah, see, I think you're wrong, and I think all the faces are in the box. In the battery, maybe in there, but hear me out, I think they feel it.
Dr. Cornelius, it is possible if you were to release these samples from the box, if you were able to gather more from the Queen Mary, they might actually be higher quality specimens.
Well, that's what you wanted us to do at the Queen.
Is this bothering you? Do you want? Is this faceless thing bothering you? Just let me know what you want.
It's bothering her.
It's bothering,
and I point to
it's
the
bothering.
distortion.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
You also,
All right, I'm willing to. I'm at a loss. I definitely owe you all something. You saved my life, so to speak. But I must warn you that the entities that you are out trying to save are not all benevolent, friendly, bouncy, happy people, all right? Some of those things out there are dangerous and deadly, far more dangerous and deadly perhaps than even yourselves, who are obviously a very dangerous and deadly group of
Oh
individuals.
no, not us.
I was like, yes, I
Especially
am.
this one.
Yes,
Right.
I'm groveling.
Well, perhaps
Stiff makes a good point.
Specifically, not
The
that.
stiff makes a real good point.
I'm
Well,
just saying there are
perhaps.
consequences. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
if they would very much like these spirits to have their faces returned, we can enter into some sort of loose business deal right now, and we can look into the Queen Mary.
All right, I let us begin. I believe I can remove one of the faces for this lady, and I don't think we should remove all the faces at once. I feel that would be very dangerous.
No,
Replace.
repl- like put their faces back on.
I
Right?
mean,
Is that
remove
what
from
you're-
the box.
Yes, just put them all out.
is that your intention, Doctor?
Well,
That's
I
what they
think we'll
want.
try to just start with this one and see how it goes, and then I've not done this in reverse before. It's an experiment. Let's
There.
see what
You
happens.
like those, right?
Mostly.
Great.
You were able to look at the boundary where this shade is pressing through, which again, unusual. Perhaps you overly taxed the system between the weather effects and the defenses. That you might have dropped more than 18%. You needed to keep it above 16%. That's true. Yeah, because otherwise they could just force their way in here any time. When you remove the box and you put it back, do any of you have any ranks in technology? You can roll with
Yeah, the one who
technology.
knows what Uber is.
I have
Right.
2.
Yeah, wits and technology. Saint Valentine. This is fascinating, though. Absolutely
Yeah.
fascinating.
I mean, it's interesting, but I also kind of feel like I need the support of my social group to enact the kind of stuff I want to enact. So I got to put my my intellectual curiosity on hold for a little bit. I
What
guess.
did you get?
2.
Okay, 2. Anybody with
I got
technology?
3.
I don't know what that is.
All right, 3.
I got 3.
Horse carriage.
No.
Again, similar to the conclusion
that makes
that
sense.
Mads
A
drew
lever.
earlier.
Yeah.
It's nonsensical. Again,
Still
there are
worship.
gears, there are wires and circuits. I mean, again, it seems like power is being generated but not routed to anywhere in particular. Circuits that don't quite close, that go up to this like tuning fork with the energy going back and forth between it. And he's tuning dials, and you hear an audible like,
I mean,
and the lights in the house kind of raise and dim.
Can I see the faces?
They as it continues swirling and tuning, you see like different ones kind of come to the certain and then like drop back again, and then different ones and then drop back again. You're pretty sure you've got it, Dr. Cornelius. And you all see up in the tuning fork apparatus at the top, you see like a small globe of like greenish purple light that emerges and flies straight forward and hits the shade right in the middle, and she goes, and she's like, and it is a face of a completely normal, unremarkable woman.
How
Lisa.
interesting.
Unnecessary.
Well, she's not particularly beautiful. I mean, she could be anyone. That's what I mean. And she's like, and she kind of just like steps back, and she's like, he gave it back. He gave it back. He gave it back. And she turns and the light appears. It's like, he gave it back. He gave it. And she walks for it and vanishes.
See, there you go. You feel a little bit better about yourself now. Just tiny little bit. Tiny little bit.
Yeah, she got her face back. She was happy. She's passed on.
in the line.
Look, couldn't you just take the faces of these not so benevolent wraiths and leave the rather happy ones alone?
Who's
You
gonna
all
sort
heat.
them.
What?
Who's going to sort them?
yeah, who makes that call, whether they're good or not?
Within this box, I have
I don't know,
tiger's claws.
just shoes.
It's a bit of a moral
Shoes.
grey.
Look at their shoes.
No, just shoes.
Oh, choose. But how do you judge?
I don't know. How do you judge?
I don't know. I don't know which are good and which are bad. I don't know.
Clearly.
Oh man.
Oh, whichever one pisses you off at the moment, I find is a pretty good rule with me, or who I and don't.
Didn't you say there's like thousands of ghosts over
Yeah,
there?
you want to let out the rest of those faces? What are you doing with them? Why do you want them? Answer a few questions first, please.
But why wouldn't you want them? This makes so much possible.
Like what?
What would you like? What would you like to be possible?
So your magic is fueled by these spirits?
It can be. It can be. Yes.
I not to have anybody get on a moral high horse here, but you know that we drink blood, right? Like
Oh!
we do.
Oh, do you? Do you drink blood and kill people? Oh.
No.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Well, clearly you are people who should be judging me. Clearly.
You all hear sirens.
We don't do anything.
Damn, you didn't put your phones in the box. Oh, bad. I'm running around and pulling things. Not good, not good.
You lit a neighborhood on fire!
I put it out again. We need to move the house. Oh, this is not good. I need to move the house.
It is
Can I move the
time. It
house?
is time to move,
Oh,
Dr. Cornelius.
something's wrong. Their parts are broken. I'm going to try to get the device up to speed to get the house moved.
Are you going to allow them to depart first?
They can do whatever they... Oh, here. Do you want to leave? Before I move the house?
You have my card, I have yours. We'll be in touch.
Yes.
Do you all intend to deliver the device to the Queen Mary like you said you would?
We didn't say that.
Dr. Cornelius
If you get
pulls a lever, and you all feel cold.
So normal.
It's like what happens when you sleep in the morning when the sun comes up and the animating principle that brings you your undead flesh to life departs and you are a corpse, dead to the world. You hear seagulls and seals and the slapping of the waves on the side of the Queen Mary. And you, St. Valentine, stand holding a very large wooden box.
Yeah.
And that is where we are going to go to break. We will be back in call it 10 minutes. And we will continue with this silky smooth and uneventful trip through the nights of Long Beach. Now, again, I would not be me if I didn't constantly expose what's supposed to be happening behind the scenes in a seamless manner with production. I have the ability to put the stream on pause now, and I'm certain I'm going to mess it up. So we're going to give this a shot here, and hopefully be back momentarily. Perfect! Seamless! Precise. Welcome back to episode 2 of Long Beach by Night, The Gray Ghost.
Sorry.
No, it's very appropriate. Very apropos. Yes. You all find yourself, inexplicably, standing on the deck of the Queen Mary. And you, St. Valentine, are holding this brown box, and on top, there is a handwritten note addressed to St. Valentine.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, I would say that this is a little weird, but I wouldn't know where to start. But let's try. What's the most important part of the weird of what? No, I was going to say what just happened. What is happening? What is happening?
Well, wait, we never had that whole they were looking for Valentin. Was that purely coincidence, or were they looking for you?
I don't know these people. I'm being completely honest with you.
I think the guy that we was Valentin.
His name was Valentin?
Possible.
Seriously.
That is a sneaky coincidence.
They come in threes, I'm told.
Yes.
What does that not say?
Yeah, what does that letter say?
What does it say more specifically?
No, it's inside. It is a
Oh.
note from Dr. Cornelius.
Okay.
It says, thank you for the assist, and I apologize for all the trouble. Please place this device inside the hold of the Queen Mary at the front of the ship.
Okay, so is this going to rip more faces off of
See,
ghosts
we don't know.
to get power?
Well,
And
here's-
is that something that we want to do?
Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Activate sense the unseen.
Since the unseen, yes. I'm waiting for that rouse to fail. I'm waiting for it.
Right.
Yeah, should I roll rouse for my sight?
You should.
Sure.
Is it a level 1 or level 2 power?
Level 1. Perhaps not.
I'm gonna say yes. Since the unseen requires it, but Oblivion Sight doesn't. Let's say yes, though.
For the level 1? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes.
As you open your eyes up to what is going on here, Valentina, you hear an old familiar voice. Valentina, this is not what you were raised to do. This is not how you're supposed to be spending these nights. You disappoint me, child. You disappoint me.
The Godfather?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
What are you working on?
I'm working on me at all times, as we all should be.
You should
Everyone's
work a little
work
harder.
in progress.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, how was the
You are
floor?
perfect, right?
It's quite nice, actually. You should try it sometime.
Sorry, we're fine.
No, I'm good right up here.
Let's see.
Okay.
As you...
Madge, do you see anything?
Yes, as you both. Oh, wow, how many successes is this?
7.
With crit or no crit?
Oh, should I roll?
Yes.
Sorry, 8.
Just to see how much you see.
Just make up a number.
Right, you're
I
like.
have 32 successes.
Yeah, you're like, I have
all
11d7
crit.
successes. All the dice.
I have a
Can't
critical
find it.
excellent.
I think it's mathematically possible. I'll get back to you.
I know
Enough
exactly
celerity.
what the maximum amount I'm capable of generating is, yes.
2. But
2.
I think the power is just...
Yeah,
Okay.
but even so, it's you can crit, you can not crit,
Sure,
you can,
sure,
especially
sure.
if you best you'll fail.
Right. 2.
That's what Dave really wants to
8.
happen.
That's really why I'm like,
That's what
yeah,
we
roll
always
again.
like
No,
to do.
check it.
I mean,
No, do
that,
it,
that's
do it,
why
do it,
we're
do it.
rolling.
Yeah. Contextually, you all, we didn't say this, but in our session 0, which you got half of that story in episode 1, the first 2 rolls of the entire game, which were Reese and Lula, were bestial fails.
My first time playing vampire. It went well.
My first bestial fail ever. Shit ton of vampire.
That is true. You played in a few sessions, and that was the first time. Yes, so
Immediately.
8 successes. Lula, who is with us currently?
Madge.
Madge. As you open your eyes and you take in the deck of this ship, it is covered. There are dozens of ghosts wandering around the deck. Some of them are soldiers. Some of them are cooks and bellhops and workers. Over in the water, when you look to the side, there are dozens of people in the water scrambling to get up the side of the ship. And you can see the spectral wreckage of half of a boat that has been broken in half, that is like slowly sinking in the water, but never quite submerging as the people struggle to get out. You see well-dressed women walking with parasols, and you even see the captain himself stop and check his stopwatch and just nod approvingly and continue walking by.
There's a lot of them about. Like, a lot. Like,
Yeah.
How are they looking? Are they
they see through.
faces?
They seem normal.
Yeah, none of these seem particularly hostile. None of them seem particularly
We haven't
aggressive.
stolen their faces yet, so why would they be?
So, are we gonna do this or are we gonna steal
Yeah,
it?
That's kind of where I'm at.
Look.
I'm at asking wise. Yeah.
He wasn't very clear about what this was gonna do, but
We should find out from someone who isn't him what that thing does.
Well, I can tell you.
Because I'm not taking his word for anything.
He's part of something called the Sons of Ether. I saw their symbol on the window when I was coming in. They're a group of mages who, I mean, all the stuff with the weird, like, etherometers and all this stuff that doesn't sound like it should work, but it does. Part of it is that's how magic works. It's your belief in it. If you could convince yourself that flight was possible for you, allegedly, but you'd have to undo all of the programming and everything of your life that's told you through your observations and what other people have told you that that's not possible. If you're able to convince yourself of it. So he's someone who's done that. All this stuff works because he believes it works. That's the science.
that's amazing.
Doesn't
pretty
make any
cool.
That's
sense.
some real quantum physics.
He also seems kind of subjective. Like, or, actually, no, that's the opposite of what I meant. Kind of coldly objective?
Well, he
Detached,
just has
apathetic,
Yeah.
a different
completely
view.
lacking in humanity, the likes of which I usually only see in,
Thank you, yeah.
You all might recall one of the things he said is you can't hurt them, they're already dead.
Yeah, he just has a different point of view on the dead.
You know,
They seemed pretty hurt to me.
that woman I couldn't even see. But like, I know what pain is.
The note to Valentine, the parchment doesn't look similar to our original note, does it?
Unrelated. It's just
Cuckoo.
although you can give me intelligence and investigation if you'd like to look at it further.
I would like to do that.
Yeah. Would anyone else like to inspect the note?
I have a specialty in calligraphy. I'd like to look at it and try to learn something about the handwriting of the person who did
Please
it.
make that roll. It would be intelligence, and to scan you add an extra die for the specialization.
I want to be included. Can I do things?
Also, now that you are on the ship,
Yes.
your compulsion is broken. You are
Yeah.
you are no longer obligated to grovel at her feet.
Yes, I didn't.
By the way, I
There's a
never look
choice.
him in the eyes.
You what? You did what?
I never look you in the eyes.
I got one
Good.
success.
We don't want to look at you anymore.
For which thing?
You can let your
The
man
intelligence
servant talk to you like
and
that.
First off,
investigation.
this is
Ah,
not.
okay.
For
This
now.
is very heavyweight,
not
paper.
manservant. She is
Um,
my manservant.
oddly thick, actually. How many? What did you get?
I got 3 successes on my calligraphy check.
Saint Valentine. This writing is a cipher.
Excellent.
Love the cipher system.
When you hashtag product placement.
Yeah.
You read what it said. When you turn it to every time you angle it slightly, the words in the sentences change and say something else completely.
Excellent.
And it says, St. Valentine, I was hoping you'd discover my puzzle here. You have to understand science proceeds experiment at a time, and we must find new and inexhaustible sources of power for knowledge and discovery and magic that I would share with you.
So I
So
read that aloud to everybody else, and I say, See, I'm swinging back and forth on liking this guy.
Yeah, it looks like
this
he's
is
offering to
fucking
work
charming.
with us.
This is amazing.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
mine
we're
is-
always on the same
especially-
wavelength.
You knowing a thing or two about puzzle work and misdirection, this cipher is spectacular. I
Yeah.
mean, in maybe 5 lines of code, he's managed to pack in about 400 words.
I was gonna say that.
Worth-
There's a lot of
worth-
Are
worth
there,
meaning.
are there more words?
I'm gonna keep turning it. Yeah, let's find out what the other messages are.
As you continue rotating, it basically says,
Let's find out together.
you're like, I meant them no harm. It was never my intention to bring them anything but rest and the advancement and the good of mankind.
When did he have time to write this?
He believed it, and it came to
Oh.
be.
Forgot the imagination is much more powerful than we thought.
You remember how
Well-
he set all the houses on fire and then brought rain clouds upon them to put them out?
That seems normal.
And I mean, normally this wouldn't be another variable, but he might be a time traveler as well, so he may have all the time in the world.
Is he also God? I don't understand.
That's a big jump from
That's
1 to
right.
2.
Is he
but-
like Doctor
Oh,
Who?
that TV show you made me watch. This is like,
Is it like Doctor Who?
is that what it was?
I mean, I can see why you would go there, but that just makes me so sad.
It just
I
seems
Was
know.
it
like
House
he
of
would,
TARDIS?
well, like, cause he just every time he had a problem, he just made up an answer.
That, yes.
You've
I
seen
see
Bobbin.
that. No, that astute.
Not Bob.
And that's why Quantum Leap is the better show.
Oh, boy.
Right?
He
I don't
basically,
follow.
he didn't take you there. What you do know, Valentina and Alquist, especially as you hear them debating this, it is a long-held tradition among Ventru to hide the masquerade by sprinkling things in popular culture. Maybe this was one of those things.
I mean, it could be. I didn't watch the show, but I sure do hear people like it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You all
like a
suddenly
play?
hear,
Oh.
and up on one of the cables, high overhead, is an incredibly large raven staring at you.
Big Bird. Is that,
No, I would like to talk to it though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. Let me pull up what I have to roll.
Feral whispers.
Yeah, I just have to.
Do I recognize this bird?
This bird does seem quite familiar, although you haven't seen it in some weeks.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Quite familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, let's see. Let me.
Alright. Make an arouse check.
Mm-hmm.
That's a success?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
A critical success.
Okay. On a rouse check, the creatures it's pass fail.
Pass.
Okay.
And then I.
Are you
roll-
trying to be nice to it, or are you trying to be mean to it?
Oh, nice, of course.
Then you would roll your
Charisma
charisma plus
plus
your animalism.
Ooh. 5.
You're like best to fail. Shoot
I
it.
mean, I would eat the raven.
No,
I would.
no, you're like Raven. Let me ask you one thing.
What a waste of blood.
Whoa.
5. It's
What
not.
are you
It's
doing?
not a
What are
best
you
or
doing
fail.
here?
And then everything
I'm
retconned,
talking-
and we're
just
back to
talking.
normal. There's
Mhm.
nice.
So 5 successes.
What would you like to say to the Raven, and what does that sound like?
To them, it probably sounds like me cawing like a raven. I just kind of like going, ah! And, but what I'm saying is, well, hello, beauty. What brings you here?
Work.
Oh, who are you working for?
How many of those your 5 successes?
The raven
Success.
squints at you.
That's true. No,
Yeah.
the Raven very much like his little like eyes like click around. You
Do
know.
I get a bonus on the charisma though? Because I'm beautiful.
That's true. But you're
I mean,
she's
me,
got
I
the
mean,
look.
mechanically.
It's better to say you're not hot by
No,
Raven.
I
secrets,
mean you.
though. Right. Secret?
Oh, that is amazing that you have secrets. Is there anything I can help you with?
This guy sees.
Are you? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you cawing at my raven?
Oh, is this your raven? I didn't know.
Figures. She'd have a raven.
Does he have anything on him? Like a.
How do
Just
you,
watching.
How do you
The
have a
raven
raven?
is naked.
Did he say nevermore?
Not yet, but it's been a short conversation thus far.
Common misconception.
Make him say nevermore. Make him say nevermore.
I will not do that. You wouldn't even hear it.
It looks straight at you, Madge, and in English says, "No."
This whole time, this bird can speak
Ravens
English.
are capable of some limited mimicry.
Ravens are. Corvids are amazing.
Yeah.
You were so close, though. Nevermore.
No.
Never mind.
One of the women ghosts that has been walking by with the parasol stops right next to you and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something to me?"
Yeah. Hello, love. How are you? You look lovely.
She's like,
I love all this.
she goes, "Oh, my dear. I think you're looking for steerage. It's down below in the bottom decks. You don't want them to catch you up here amongst the common crowd. I'd hate for you to get thrown overboard or some such. Pip, Pip, I'm sure your father's looking for you."
Yeah. But I was sent.
Rude
No, I work
girls.
for the captain. I believe. Was he? I'm just.
Oh, work for the captain in what capacity? That's very unchristian to have
Just
ladies of ill repute on board the
scrubbing shit off the poop deck
Queen Mary.
or whatever it is.
You all hear
But-
everything Madge is saying. You do not hear the other half of the conversation. You hear all of
That's
this.
the best way.
I just assume she's being funny.
What for? I've been working on the ship so long. What year is it for right now?
1944.
All right.
My dear, you're not feeling well. I mean, your strange dress and mannerism. Perhaps you've
I
suffered
know.
a wound to your head of some sort.
It's a bit of plague.
Oh.
You should probably go too.
She pulls like a scarf out of her sleeve. It's like, oh,
It's a consumption, love. It's a mess.
oh, she's my dear. And she like points her little parasol down at you. Actually, she's like, improper, so improper.
You know,
You
TV's
are
been
quite
making a
the
comeback.
charlatan.
Thanks, Jenny McCarthy.
The raven flies down and sits on the rail.
Morto, what can I? Did you get sent here by? You
It
know-
looks at you for a second and says, "Gone."
Oh yeah, that was not by choice. You can let them know the Second Inquisition had me for a couple weeks, but I know I'm fine now. I'm
Fine.
well. I am. I'm working on some business acquisitions. Oh, in fact, bring this, and I'll pull out the gold business card. Bring this.
And it like leans down and it holds it in one of his feet.
Mhm.
And looks around and goes, "Ghosts."
Yeah, they're everywhere right now.
Corvids are amazing.
Yes. And like it's like feathers like bristle a little bit.
Nevermore.
No.
Bring the business card to you know who, and tell them that they're interested in the Queen Mary, and that I'm starting negotiations. Well, just bring them the business card. They'll make the call. Sorry.
He looks like box.
Yeah. This is a box.
Ghosts.
All right. Card
Well, this is riveting.
to higher ups. That's all
Yes!
you need to do.
He leans down and he puts the card in his beak, and like hops over on your shoulder and like nuzzles on you for a second.
No.
And
So, Anyone know who the who and the you-know-who is? Maybe?
Don't ask your you-know-whos.
Well, when it comes from a person who's ripping off faces of the ghosts.
Coming
Seems a
from
bit
the one who
weird.
just murdered 3
I do
mortals
not recall that happening.
in a vehicle that was not yours.
I don't remember.
You did
that.
not acquire.
But
You don't remember it?
I was
it seems
there.
a bit
There
fuzzy.
was
You did
someone
that
on
shit.
the street saying they were dead.
Yes, this actually is the first that Vi and Reese that you all have heard about.
We heard it a little
No,
bit.
no,
earlier.
She told
It
us.
came up, but
They asked about
there
the-
was also
We
a face
We
ripper.
hadn't discussed it at length.
Like things
but
were happening.
Apparently,
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing some
Yeah.
fucked up shit, and that's coming.
What?
I'm just
What do you
saying.
have to say for yourself?
Say for myself. You're the one who's giving a ghost facer, ghostbuster
No,
guy
don't
the
change it.
things
we all
to
have
your
secrets.
higher commands. Just curious.
Yeah,
what it is.
no whataboutism in this coterie. Thank you very much.
Fine.
No.
Are we? We're a coterie.
Don't you think?
I'm just
Moving a
visiting.
bit fast.
Man,
So,
Good.
guys, I will tell you, there are a lot of ghosts here. One of them said there was about 1944, I do believe, to like some of them. So I think they might be like part
Did you
of
let
the
him
ship.
know they were wrong?
you hear
No.
Madge.
It wasn't worth my time. Plus, the one I talked to, bit of an asshole.
Hey, who said there was a case of consumption on board the vessel here? I was told this strangely clad harlot was causing a disturbance on board my ship.
Are you the captain?
Valentina, you hear this, you turn around, there is a man very clearly dressed like the captain, with a very thick, long gray mustache that like trails off into pork chops that go up to the side. And he is wearing a very like immaculately pressed uniform. He's like, well, now see here, up here on the deck, we have a dress code that neither of you are keeping. Now, if you have symptoms of the consumption, I'm going to insist that you report to the infirmary right this instant, or I shall have security escort you off my vessel.
Where's the infirmary? Is that towards the front of the ship or the back of the ship? I'm a bit confused.
Why are you talking to the ghost?
Straight down, 3 decks, forward,
The captain
on the
is
left.
speaking to him.
You cannot miss it.
Straight down. So is that towards the front or the back?
It is called the stern, my lady. You must learn your nautical terminology. You can't say left and right and front and back on the high ocean with nothing to calibrate against.
No.
Port and stern, fore and aft.
Mm-hmm.
Right-ho, move along before you infect us all.
Didn't see. Yeah. Front, left, right, side, down, up. All right. So we're gonna go check out the ship. If you want to come with me, I'm gonna go down and look.
Before you go,
Do you bring the box?
Yeah, but that's the thing is, we need to discuss whether we want to do this or not. Are we collecting ghost faces here, or what?
Why would we?
Have we opened the box?
What's in the box?
I mean,
Pandora,
for all I
right?
know, this could start the collecting right now. But I mean, if you want, I can open it.
Look, if
Is
Doctor
this
Who,
the same box as
Tell
Is this
me.
the battery box or a different box?
Doctor Who tells me to put a box on the front of a ship, I'm putting a box on the front of a ship.
Hey, Madge, can you see something about that? One of your visions, one of your premonitions, anything that would guide us?
I could try.
Thank you.
Why is it that you want to know? You want to know what's going to happen, or do you want to know more about the box, or?
I want to know if doing what that face ripper asshole says is gonna get ghosts hurt or this city riled. You saw what that one woman could do. I could see it.
All right. Well, let's find out.
Just want that bass to come out. It's
You're
coming.
so mad.
At least a bass. Just do it. Just give in. Stop
I
fighting.
am the luckiest blood in the world.
Stop
Don't
fighting.
Don't say that.
Oh, now you ruined it.
All the skulls.
What I wanted to happen.
Yes, Valentina, you hear that entire exchange.
Captain, have you always had such a crowded ship? I noticed so many individuals here. Or is this a new newer appearance for you.
Well, you might know that the Grey Ghost served with some distinction throughout World War II. Carried over 150,000 soldiers back and forth across the Atlantic, she did. Served with distinction, was torpedoed a number of times and never sank. And now she has been restored to her former luxury, ferrying the well-heeled and genteel people of the world to and fro. Hither and yon, you might say. Fore and aft, as this one doesn't seem to know.
How many people are on the ship currently?
He actually stops and looks very confused. He's like, whoa, should be a full compliment, you see, but I can't seem to locate my first mate anywhere. There's a few lads from the engine room, you see. We must have put into port, I suppose, but these people have yet to disembark. Well, I mean, you're here, of course. See, that's it. Right, and this strange, infected woman, but...
See, most of ghosts are assholes. I don't understand, like, put the faces in
No,
box.
he's perfect. He's sweet. He's perfect. You're perfect.
It's like, well, I mean, perhaps 150 souls on board? But there should be thousands, but just seem to have lost track of some of them somehow.
Right. Well, why don't you go find your first mate?
Well, you'd be infirmary
Yeah. Yes.
with you.
We'll take her along.
Right.
You said down 2 floors,
Three.
3, and then to the front.
We should work on this attitude. You'll never find a husband, you know. That's it.
Nah.
Right. Yeah, although, poor thing, you may only have a few more months to live. If the consumption's taken, you gotta go with God.
It might be not.
Oh, he's like, I've got the strangest headache, actually, that won't seem to go away. Oh, don't really know the source of it. And when he says this, you all see red, veins spiderweb out from his head, and his eye turns like super bloodshot and droops downward. And he's like, it just hurts a lot. Perhaps I should go lay down in my quarters. And he turns and sort of like stumbles away.
Is the box doing anything?
Well, what are you doing with the box?
I'm just getting frustrated. I open the box.
You got how many successes when you were trying to... Your goal was a premonition?
Yes.
You see a factory. And you see there is a person that is scooping coal into the factory. And every once in a while, the coal scrambles and tries to get off of the shovel, and it just gets scooped in and poured inside. And you see it like burning and sizzling. And yes, very Miyazaki. Yes, very, very, very coal sprites. Yes, getting scooped into the fire. And you see the fire is warm and glowing, and it is nice and inviting, and all of the lights are burning bright, and the factory is just humming away. And down at the bottom is kind of like dark and scummy and like covered in soot, and up near the top is bright and shiny, and everything is golden and nice.
All right, so Reese, I say as far as the premonition goes, like we put ghost faces in boxes. Like it seems to be all happy from here. It's just clouds.
What was your premonition exactly?
It was coal and shoveling and a factory, and at the top, and it was warm and nice and bright.
Right, and that made you want to put ghost faces in boxes. Why?
I mean, it's a good omen because premonitions don't always. The thing happens, and it's not always right what it is. It's symbolism.
I don't think we owe this man any. I don't know why we're standing on this boat and why we're not just leave it.
Well, y'all don't have to do it. I'm happy to take responsibility for this.
Ghosts can be here. Like, what's wrong with just having ghosts on a ship? Where they died.
Nothing wrong with that, and like I said, what's it bother you if we put a box on this ship?
Because y'all described it before, when that woman's face was put back, she was able to go on to her other side. If we rip the faces off these people, they can't go on to their other side.
Well, they've got their faces now, and they're still here.
So might as well just take away all chances?
St. Valentine, when you open the box, inside there is
Gwyneth Paltrow's head?
Okay. Yes. Spoiler alert. There
Get
is
through FedEx security.
there is a glass cylinder that looks like it's more akin to like a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And it is hooked to a number of hoses that come off and attach to the side, and there are several gears that are like turning quietly. And there is a single switch.
All right. I think it's pretty obvious how this thing works. All right.
What's your horse in this race?
I'm sorry.
Why?
We don't ask questions.
Oh, no, we ask questions about relating to the actions we're taking, just not about people's pasts and their secrets. It's different. They're like, there's a lot. Whatever.
The same, might be connected.
Answer their question. Why do you want to do this so much?
Oh, because Dr. Cornelius seems like he could be an asset in my family's business, and I'm just entering good personal
How?
relations. Well, that is my family's business, not yours.
No, I mean, you'll forget, like, magic, ectoplasmic weirdness, lighting neighborhoods on fire, causing storms. I don't
Sure,
really
that's what he did just
see
then.
how it goes into, like, vegan food delivery.
Oh, that's my business, not my family business.
Gotcha.
I have multiple ventures at all times, you must understand. No, the man could do all sorts of things. That was merely a glimpse. He would be such a wonderful business asset, as I'm sure you can understand, and I think we have some things we could provide him. So I'm happy to take the burden of whatever happens next.
St. Valentine, you realize that it's kind of, you're looking at the box and you look up, your otherworldly sight is sort of switched on without you noticing.
Okay. You do have something to show me.
All of the ghosts on the bridge are staring right at you.
Okay,
And there's dozens of them.
You can see that, right? I'm not in any danger.
Oh,
Here am I.
they
looking right
maybe
at
they
you.
know who you are. Do a little magic.
Don't patronize me. I know how this works.
In the box.
What are you gonna do with it?
If they're looking at you, we'll see if it's because of you or because of the box. So I take the box and I step like 10 feet to the right.
Well, you actually wouldn't know, but the three of you that can see them, they all...
Yeah, it's the box. They like the box.
They're looking at
Cool.
the
Like
Let me
the
see. Let
box?
me see.
No.
Or they're aware of the box. Right, same.
Val,
Okay.
can I see the
You,
box?
especially
So-
Valentina and Madge.
Don't turn that on without asking us first. There's
You
a
do
big
you do
switch
take
on
the
side.
box?
Yeah.
Okay, and so, and one of the men walks forward, and he is horrifically burned. He is crispy and fried. There's parts of him that you can see all the way down into his muscle tissue. And he is wearing what was once probably a chef's uniform, but it's difficult to say. And he's like, "What are you going to be doing with that, lass?"
Does this mean anything to you?
I find it fascinating. I don't even know why, though.
What about it do you find fascinating?
I don't even know why, though. It's just something about it. What's it do?
Well, we're not exactly sure. Do you think we ought to turn it off?
What do you mean by turned it on, lass? I don't. The last thing I know, I was in the kitchen and I was cooking, and these British fuckers came in and started pushing me around a bit.
Right.
Like, what am I even doing out here? I should be in the kitchen. It's going to be chow soon. The men are going to riot if their dinner's not ready. It is.
Sir, you are deceased. You are a ghost.
No, I'd be resting in the bosom of Father Abraham if I was dead. No, I can be a ghost.
Okay. Well,
What manner of contraption is that?
I don't know. Would you like to try touching it?
Why didn't they think this wise? Put my hand in strange boxes of foreign women.
Well, no, I'm curious. Go ahead. Maybe
No.
it'll give you some inner peace.
No, it'd be like quite unsanitary. I've got
I'm
to go and
going
get
to
me back to my
compel
cooking.
him.
Right.
I'm going to compel him to touch it.
Roll your 6 dice.
I'm going to assume there's a rouse check.
Mm-hmm.
A pest.
not
still use those.
anytime you want.
5.
You like touch it? He puts his hand in and it just goes straight through. And he goes, Mother Mary of God, it's transparent. What manner of contraption is this? My hand goes straight through it. What devilry are you doing here?
I'm telling you that you're dead. You're a ghost. You've passed on. Well, you haven't passed all the way on. You gotta accept this if you want to, make it all the way through.
Oh, no, that's not. No, I'm preparing the. No, Lost, tell her that cannot be. I got to prepare.
Look, you see how we
she's
are
right.
speaking to you and they have no idea what we're doing?
I just figured they were fucking rude. People always
Well,
overlook the help.
Wave at him. Wave at him. They won't.
They love me fucking chip beef, but they won't give me the time of day.
No.
I mean, I'm listening.
You say you can perceive all of this. Yeah.
Is there anything at all that we can help you with? Something you're looking for?
I mean, the fuckers that were pushing me around in the kitchen.
What
Maybe.
they look like?
Oh, they're just yay big with the British blokes. They're too much to drink and they're carousing and
What year is it?
Oh, I mean, it's 1952. It's the height of the Second World War.
Those men.
Of course it is.
It's a conflict that's inflamed the entire fucking planet. How did they know that?
So, like, if I beat up a couple of British dudes for you, will you be happy?
Oh, I wouldn't want you to
You hear
worry
me?
yourself there
They
and
see
be
this?
harmed. But
Do you mind if I press this button?
Oh, no.
I didn't know what the manner of the contraption that you got there. And no, you don't worry your head. They're strapping men, you know. I just wouldn't want you to be
Activate
harmed.
sweetness.
Mhm.
Alright.
He didn't say no.
No.
he doesn't know. Yeah. You can try and hit the switch?
Oh, come on. Don't you want to know what it does?
I do.
We can just turn it back off.
We
Well, that
don't always know what kind of bell you can unring.
I believe we were instructed to put it in the front first.
Oh, that's a very good point.
And then I'm just saying it seemed like there was precise instructions and with all of that weird stuff.
I think if we are going to turn it on, it should be in the spot that they.
That's a fair point. I'm gonna start walking.
But hold on, you've got a fundamental problem with us turning it on in the first place.
Without
yeah?
knowing what it does from someone who isn't that dude. Second opinions are a thing, people.
I mean, does your little cipher note have more information about what
It'll
the box
still be
does?
from the same dude.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna begin walking.
The Queen
I'll let
Mary
that
is
start and catch
it's a
up.
gargantuan vessel. It's twice the size of the Titanic, so it's no small
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
to walk down into the hole to the front of this. Like it's not like in the next 5 minutes you're gonna be click. So you would be able to.
So walk and talk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna lean into Vi real close and go, there you go. I bought you some time to make your argument.
From across the deck, the
Argument.
the
This
captain
is stupid.
the
and
captain
wrong.
stumbles and puts his hand against the wall, and he's still holding on to his head. And he looks up. He's like, "To the infirmary with you immediately. That one's contagious." Okay.
I'm gonna ignore him and keep walking with them.
What is wrong with your eye? Do I have any knowledge? Have I ever seen this in the dead before?
You have been alive long enough, and you have seen people slide off of this mortal coil enough times to realize that is a massive stroke.
Oh. In his own death, right? Okay. Sorry, sir. I'm gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're stuck reliving.
They're ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Uh,
why you don't want to
Saint Valentine.
if you can help them.
Give me
It's not our
wits
job,
and
but we don't have to fuck
aspects.
them up.
Saint Valentine, wits and aspects.
They are but tools for the supernatural.
That's
What are but tools?
The wraiths, the spirits, the ghosts.
one success.
Just because you don't have a soul doesn't mean souls are worthless.
What?
These all kind of feel like gray areas.
Yeah.
I think more information is good, but yeah, I think that we are going to have to come to some sort of consensus.
Look, don't you know any magic people you can consult? You have like a circle or...
I've been kind of operating on my own. For some reason, no one really seems that interested in helping me. I mean, except for you, of course.
3 loud bangs start echoing. The moment you start going down the ship, you hear from deep in the bowels 3 loud hits. Boom, boom, boom. And the whole vessel kind of groans. And
Yeah, so this is continuing to feel like a good idea to you? Really?
Well, this is happening without us having done anything. This is not the box's fault.
It's opened and the ghost started acting different. You both
I
said
don't
it.
know that that's a conclusive
Correlation
It doesn't
statement
have
there.
causation.
Thank you.
But
Do-
correlation is meaningful science.
do you want to close the box,
Also
or do you want to leave it open?
I will close the box.
When you close it, every ghost that stopped and was looking at you continues going about their business again. The women with the parasols continue chatting. The workers are buzzing about doing things
Okay, we're
and
learning
sweeping.
stuff.
What are we learning? What happened?
Well, I mean, when she closed the box, they seem to go back to their routines.
So my
Still trapped forever in their spirit forms, might I add. Nothing really has changed.
But they're not in pain.
I don't know. A stroke guy looked like he was in eternal pain.
Who is stroke?
The captain with his headache.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a man over there, the captain of the ship.
They are a mess with or without this box.
He seemed to be experiencing his death almost on what I would say was maybe a loop. You might be right.
Was it when she was reminding him he was a ghost? You start thinking about how dead you are, maybe that isn't too pleasant?
They have to accept their death.
Clearly, they don't do
And
that.
he said he had this headache before. Like, it wasn't her presence or the box presence that caused him to have this
Thank
headache.
you.
No, I'm
Bale.
saying it's reminding him by saying you're fucking dead. Like, people say that to me. I don't really like it either, but I don't start bleeding.
Reese,
Yeah.
you realize that there's an internet. You just check and see.
Suddenly you're real.
Yeah.
I'll roll with some technology.
Yes, please do.
Yes, Virginia, there is an internet.
I mean, yeah, it's not really where I think to go for these sorts of problems, I grant you.
What
It's
do we
not
do
where I
with
go.
ghosts on a boat?
I mean, right, because, like,
Well, what's the
what,
top
you think,
result?
is that a first page Google result?
Yeah.
It's certainly not an 8th page. Nothing good has ever happened on the 8th page.
Dear Google, should we
Oh, no.
use
Yeah, that's
this
3 successes on 4.
box?
Okay, good. Okay, good, I feel strong.
You're like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, this whole thing is bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Sir Edgar Britton, the first captain of the Queen Mary, died of a stroke in his cabin.
Yep, I mean, it all checks out. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope, Captain had a stroke. Feeling reminded of it. Cool. Thanks, Google.
How
Okay.
close are we to the front of the boat?
Yeah.
You all are making your way down, and you hear laughter and splashing.
Is there any reason I'm
Look
not just
towards-
turning this box
We
into its
hear it, or
constituent
everyone hears
gears?
Everyone hears the laughter
Okay.
and the splashing.
Oh, we all hear the laughter and stuff?
You all hear laughter and splashing.
Which direction is that coming from?
You hear that?
Maybe the stern.
All right, we go towards the laughter and the splashing.
You all come down and you see a lavish but incredibly archaic looking pool. It's got very Art Deco tiles and it's full of pastels, and it is freezing in here. Again, the Pacific Ocean is deceptively cold, especially for people that haven't been here before, and it is October. But it is at least 30 degrees colder down here than it was just now on the deck of the ship.
I do not like this.
I don't like anything about it, and I don't like her holding that box.
I'm gonna breathe out to see if I see my breath.
Do you rouse the blood first?
Yes.
Yeah. Horn?
You can't just do that whenever you want.
When you turn to activate rousing the blood and you feel the warmth return to your body and your lungs start to work again, you hear the chorus inside. Oh, what are we even doing here? This is all bullshit. I think it's fabulous. Oh, we should just rip all this shit apart. I want to make out with that hot fucking Ventru. This is all gorgeous. I saw all of this was going to happen once before. I believe I even shipped across here once before. I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Raven, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just checking to see if it's pretty cold in here.
Yeah, it is. I wrote
That's
it
your
back
conclusion?
a little bit and got him. You're looking well.
Who do we have here?
What do we see?
Sorry, Draven.
Raven?
Very nice to meet
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice
Draven.
to
All
meet
growling.
you.
you. Yeah.
Besides our archaic pool and the coldness, is there anything else of note?
Like, do we see who's laughing?
Yes, that's
It seems to be coming from everywhere.
sick.
You can make me wits and awareness.
Everyone?
Everyone can make wits and
I
awareness.
think I would like
Can
that.
you use one of these?
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah.
Do I have to do roll sense the unseen?
roll.
Yeah, no, you don't use one.
It's a nightmare.
I mean, yeah.
What is it? What was it again?
Wits and awareness.
Wits and awareness.
I only got 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6. That's very different.
Just one for me.
I got 1 crit, and then so 4 total, and then 1 crit, or 2 crits, and whatever.
No,
it is.
you got
So
4,
that
5,
is, that is
6.
4. 6 the crit, yes.
6 then.
I got 1.
Reese and
Mercy shit.
Alquist, as you guys kind of hear this like giggling and splashing, you realize it's not 1 voice but 2, and you hear.
Mm.
It is the slamming of doors.
Are they coming closer? Slamming closer. Everybody
Yep.
else is here. You hear all this?
It
yes?
all once it gets close enough, you hear it, and then the lights go out.
Uh-huh.
Complete pitch black, except for the ambient light of the city of Long Beach, funneling in through the windows.
I shall turn on Eyes of the Beast.
2 women are standing right in front of you.
Hi. It's lovely to meet you. Can I help you?
One of them is wearing a very old-timey, like bloomer style bathing suit. Like that, it ends right above her knees, kind of comes all the way down to her elbows, and has these white frills. The other is wearing a bikini that would have like fit in right, basically at the height of the '60s, and it is bright yellow. And they are both looking at you. And the younger one opens her mouth to say something, and just water comes out.
Do I see them?
You do not, because it is pitch black for you, unless you have some way of seeing through the darkness.
I'm
I have 6 success.
so sorry. Your life has ended. You have passed on,
This is what I'm.
and you need to accept that and move on yourself.
You all hear Vi's voice in the pitch black. I mean, you were within arm's reach of each other when all of the lights went out, and you hear her saying this.
I'd like to activate dark vision.
What are you saying there?
When you shine the light up, sure enough, these 2 women are right there, and they both go.
Activate prowess.
I guess everyone
Ghost
sees
puncher.
them?
Right.
Once Sam shines the light on them, they are there
Yes.
for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. How many is this?
6.
But no crits. You see the 2 of them very clearly in front of you. And when this happens, one of them holds her hands up, and your lungs, which were breathing, stop. It's an unusual sensation because you don't actually have to breathe, but you're like, but you were trying to. Like,
It's a bit rude.
yeah. Yes, Reese. You activate prowess.
Oh, that was a preparatory move
Mhm.
in case something popped off, but I'm not.
The one in the bikini turns and like looks right at you and is like,
I'm not scared yet.
and do you let her touch you?
Yes.
The moment she reaches out and puts her hand on you, you feel yourself yanked into the pool. Frantic, scrambling, pulling at you. Like struggling, like somebody trying to get out. And you, again, don't actually have to breathe.
Yeah.
But this is still freaky as hell.
It's
and you all
freaky, but she's freaked. And
Yeah.
I don't have to breathe. This hasn't
Yes.
gotten to something that scares me yet.
You all hear this frantic splashing now coming from the pool.
Reese?
Are we still in normal land, or are we in some other?
Complete darkness.
Yeah, I presume I dropped my phone. So.
But
I'm gonna walk down into the pool.
Are we? We're not in Shadowland.
Yes.
Okay,
It
that's what
is.
I'm wondering if I can see.
When you open up your eyes and see into that other place, there are not two people in here. There's dozens. And they're all standing around the edge of the pool looking downwards.
Okay.
And one of them has a life ring around their arm and is just holding it. And they're looking.
Well, I mean, she's not in danger of drowning. Do we do something about this?
Well, I can't see.
I'm already walking down into the pool.
Oh, I
You
suppose
are,
the lab is
Draven.
talking about.
As you're making your way down into the pool, and sure enough, you see this person frantically clinging and struggling with Reese, who again seems relatively composed, aware of the fact that they cannot in fact drown.
I'm confused because y'all can see them.
Mm-hmm.
What? No. I see nothing.
No, you can't.
What? I thought you said I see nothing.
These two women you can't see.
Well, I thought that was when the light was on. Now it's off.
Well,
when the
okay,
when the
sure,
light
sure.
I see that.
disappears, yeah. It's a complete
You
inky blackness.
you did see those two women.
Yes, I did.
You, Vi, can still very much see her standing right there.
So there's one still standing there, and then one in the.
The one in the bloomers is there. The one in the bikini has disappeared.
I mean,
Why are you doing this?
She just sort of looks for a second. And she points over at the ring, which you just see her point. Valentina, you see her pointing at the person that is holding the ring.
Okay. She's pointing to, I don't know, their lifeguard or something. It's holding the safety.
Yeah, but maybe that person didn't save her?
I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do about this. We can't solve every ghost problem.
Wait, so I can't see those people there though.
Everything starts shaking.
Okay, well, let's think about this, right? These people, they're different from different time periods, right? We've established that. So it's not that there's one event that's all tying them to this boat. Like, maybe it's the boat itself, maybe it's something else.
Reese,
Yes.
down in the water,
Yeah.
and you, Draven, as you're moving towards, piercing, freezing cold goes through both of you. This is a different kind of cold. This isn't winter. This isn't even death. This is pure necrotic oblivion, and you both take one aggravated wound.
Okay.
As the water starts to froth.
The woman who's grabbing
Mhm.
at me, I sort of have my arm for her as if I'm a lifeguard. If at any point she calms down, I'm going to start swimming up and running through the performance of saving her and bringing her up. She's scrambling like she's drowning.
She's
I'll
in
bring her back
fact
up to the
scrambling
water.
like she's drowning. Give
So I wanna swim
me your strength and athletics.
Absolutely.
And Draven, what are you doing? Is this
Heading
cold?
back towards the land.
Yeah, right. You're gonna nope out, right?
Nope.
You, Valentina, see this gathered assemblage of people looking, and the one that's holding the life raft, the ring, looks up at you and says, "They're so forgetful.
Forgetful of what?
Everything."
What do you want them to remember?
Death. And looks back down at her in the pool.
I'm gonna open the box.
Mm.
See see.
Everyone, all the ones around the boat, all the ones standing around the pool, stop and turn immediately towards it. And the lights come back up, and you all see these people made out of grayish, shadowy substance. And you see ice spreading out through the pool from all directions around Reese and this woman that is like frantically struggling with her as Draven is struggling to get out of the pool.
Turn it on!
Also.
Oh, you want me to turn this on now?
Fucking bitch, turn it on!
The one with the life preserver turns and looks and says, him again. And starts walking towards you.
Yeah, I agree with them. No time like the present. Let's do this.
Yeah, you all see this now.
Switch.
Yeah. He's like, and the woman in the bloomer is like, when a jolt goes through her, and she just turns and looks at you for a second and just goes. And you see her fly forward and fly into the box. And there's like a greenish glow there. And down on the bottom of the water too, she's holding on and like shoots upwards and into the box. And the shadowy people start to like come toward, like they're becoming incorporeal there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one holding the life preserver looks down at his hands as they're kind of becoming like wispy and just tosses it over his shoulder and says, so few surprises these days. And they all dissipate.
But not pulled into the box.
They do not get pulled into the box.
Hell.
And the moment they dissipate, the lights come back on.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, look, it only brought the ones that were trying to do us harm into the magical box.
I don't know that that's the distinction between the two. Trying to do us harm or not.
Well, but they had crossed some realm where they could interact with more than just us. They could see them too. Which makes me think that they had some amount of supernatural power. They were harboring some great something was keeping them here and giving them strength.
There's a hierarchy or some sort of separation, but I don't know it's about which ones are the good ghosts or the bad ghosts necessarily.
Well, these ones certainly didn't seem friendly.
Gonna help Reese out of the pool.
I mean, I'm doing all right. 7 on the athletics.
Yeah, right. Well, the moment the ghost is gone, although you've seen Reese's face many times, and you see Draven, sorry, when Draven comes out of the pool, and they both have these bluish black webs across their face. They're fairly faint, but it's almost like the onset of frostbite, which you know isn't possible. You can't get frostbite, you're dead.
What happened?
Are you okay?
Fucking cold pool. What happened?
You got like blue veins on your face.
Yeah, you should get that looked at.
You got it too.
If we're quite done,
Did she do?
I think it's time to go.
Do you close the box, Valentine, or do you leave the box open?
No, I'm leaving it open. We should drop it off at the stern, right?
That.
Yeah, I think we stay the course.
Like, probably the sooner the better.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna resume walking.
When you say that we're going to drop it off at the stern, the sooner the better, the door to the pool swings open.
Look, see, they're encouraging us.
Go on.
As you make your way down.
I'm gonna grab him to pull back a bit as these three walk ahead.
Oh no.
Hey, what you did earlier was a little stupid. And
I know, the crawling on the ground, it was
shut up.
embarrassing to say the least.
If you could just give them something to drink, that make up for your idiocy.
Give who what? To drink? I have things to drink. You talking about me? You out of your goddamn mind. What? In what world are you living where that would happen?
I'm living in the world where you killed 3 mortals in a car for no reason.
No one
While we were
knows
being shot
if
at.
That's true.
Just give him your
Don't,
wrist.
dude. Don't.
I will not.
No,
Nope.
just. I
That's
don't know
not how
what you
these
think
things
you can
work.
bluff your way out of, but you
Nope.
ran out of rail.
Nope.
Push! Shove!
You
Wall!
people.
Okay, strength and brawl.
Yeah.
See if you can post him up.
I'm done.
All these things.
I would like to rage.
I would not like to rage.
Yep.
It's been a fucking day.
This has been a day.
Yes.
Because all of this has been.
Hey!
Yeah, it's about 4 a.m. by now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once you're done playing with your things,
Yeah.
I have some things I'd like to play with.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.
With the crit or no?
Yeah, great.
So, boom! Like you. How many rings of fortitude do you have?
What?
You notice when
My
you
what?
throw him into the wall, you hear, and the wall of the ship buckles and like busts him into it. But not unlike what happened with the man in the concrete. But he goes right into it. And you hear the entire ship groans from the impact. And yes, Alquist, what would you like to do?
We're forgetting that.
I'm looking at the eyes.
Probably.
Just
No,
don't
I,
look at me.
I know better.
Yeah. While all of this is happening, Valentine, what is it that you're doing?
I'd like to mesmerize.
First, if you were
I
trying
have
to compel.
toughness.
Oh yeah,
as well.
I accounted for that. Yeah, so
Okay.
you take 1 superficial. That's why.
I have my prowess up, so that's another 2. Superficial. On top
How
of
many
my,
successes was that total?
It was 9 total successes and then
Yes, we
2 damage
do
with
this for
prowess.
now.
2 extra superficial with prowess. 1 plus 2 plus.
No, hang on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, totally.
What's happening?
Nah.
Are you speaking to the gods?
Yes.
It's still 4 superficial wounds that you take, so it's not insignificant, right?
Yes.
If you were going to try and compel them to look at you, the first thing you would need to do is activate awe and see if you win that contest, because they're trying not to look at you.
Oh, I see.
So, but awe can make them look at you, pending how the
All right.
how the dice fall.
We'll play your game.
I mean,
My game?
Assaulting me.
Do you want to attempt to compel them with awe?
Yes, I would
Right.
like to do these things.
So that will be your
Didn't want to.
manipulation in presence versus Reese's composure and
What is it?
intellect.
This is off first, so it's
Yeah, so
manipulation.
your manipulation in
4
presence
plus 2.
versus
Nope,
Reese's composure and
You
intelligence.
probably don't have to roll. I rolled no successes.
Right.
I win.
Well, there's a chance that he might not either, or he might best you'll fail. So.
Therefore,
No,
Right.
he's at 0 hunger because he murdered 3 people.
Also true. Yeah, no, you feel great about all of this, really. Yeah. Again, beasts we are, right?
Reese is also, I think, at 0 hunger right now.
I am.
Reese is
That's
also the most mellow
that
ones are the ones that are fighting the hardest.
Because murder.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yes, they do in fact look you in the eye, and then the mesmerism would be separate. The mesmerism is your manipulation and dominate versus your intelligence and resolve.
Do I get another action before he does both in sequence?
No, because it's just basically it's his aura, and then he does
But
the
I also
thing.
get
Like, it's
the
like,
second
hey,
my
blood.
thing.
You
That's
know,
fine.
he's just talking.
I'd have
Yeah.
to
Also, I will have
seduce
you know,
and then...
I roused to try and heal.
She's
Yeah.
not a one. Or they're not a one, which is the problem.
But
Yeah.
isn't
Actually,
That'll be
aren't
next
they
time.
two separate? Because he's doing
it's not D&D though. It doesn't work like
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
that.
Actual
then
economy's a little different.
mesmerize
Yeah,
is...
we'll come back
what
to
is-
that in 1
did-
second.
These are
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Your
things-
that's
mesmerism
your
is your
mesmerism.
manipulation and dominate versus Reese's intelligence and resolve.
This whole table. is
Remember,
just gonna-
if this succeeds, they will do exactly what you tell them.
Yeah,
it
so
has to be
think about
something
it,
they're
you're
consciously capable of
I'm not
doing.
as cruel as you.
You can't say like "love me" because like a person can't make you love them or something like that.
That's a whole aspect of that.
Make me. Yeah, okay, go for it.
What about...
Well, we'll just roll and then you
We'll
think
roll
of
and we'll
what
see if
you
see if it
want.
works.
That's composure and intellect. Resolve.
It is
One,
your
two,
intelligence
three,
and resolve.
4...
So I wanted to. Well, let's see.
Are you going to spend any willpower or anything of that
I have
nature?
4.
Yeah,
Okay.
also.
Successes.
Okay.
Let's see. Then there.
Were you
isn't
going
a
to
point
spend
me
any
spending.
willpower to roll more?
I guess
Doesn't
we'll never know.
I mean, you
No,
can.
you
You had
can-
4
you
successes.
had-
You
no,
had
it doesn't
3
have
blank
to.
dice.
I have 4
I
successes.
could roll willpower and succeed on all the rest of my dice, and I still would not exceed. Dice go to the attacker.
You could
I
crit.
only have the. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I was just asking whether or not you want to roll willpower to see if you can get any more
No,
successes.
you
out
roll.
of it.
What are you doing?
I mean, that's not how it works. You do it or you don't.
All right, fine. I'll do it as well, just because.
You're going to spend
So you-
willpower?
Yeah,
So you have 4, and you can re-roll 3 of those. So this will go.
I'm
in-
very nervous right now.
Why?
Rightly so, because they might throw you. through
People
the
have been
holes
doing
between
things to
barriers.
me.
I mean, probably not where I'll
So,
start. But
So
six.
now 6.
yeah. No.
Okay. What is your command that you mesmerize?
To go to the top of the ship and stay there until we get back. That's it.
Reese. Yeah, you're like, I need to go wait on the deck.
That's non-exclusive to other things, correct?
With to the best of your ability, you need to leave right now and go to the deck of the ship. You are aware of the fact that you've been dominated. You may not want to do it, but you will do it.
Sure.
Yeah. So you're like, boom, go to the deck of the ship and wait there. Fuck you. But you will do it.
Get you later.
Is the stern the deck?
I'm out.
Is the deck?
Deck is the top. Stern is the front.
Okay.
Draven, while you are
I fucked up. You're sliding through the wall.
looking at all of this, you hear Lula's voice. Oh. When you turn around, all 5 of you were standing there. And there is a man wearing an immaculate black suit made out of shadowy gray material over his face and black hair that kind of trails off sort of into nothing. And he looks at your different personalities and goes, oh, this is new. What's your story?
Who are you?
Oh, my name's not important.
I mean, I think it is right now. You're kind of outnumbered, dude. Like,
Am I? Still looks like one-on-one.
Is this in her head?
You can roll your dice to see if
Oh, really?
if this is real or not, actually.
may I?
Difficult to say. Was whether or not she's going to perceive this happening
I
or
said I
not.
wasn't going to use these anymore.
2.
2.
Curse dice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could roll willpower to reroll
No,
the one.
I'm spending that left and right.
Yeah. As you look, there is a shadow there. You don't see it as clearly and
As
immaculately in the custom tailored suit and all of that business. And he smiles, and when he smiles, his lips go back a little too far. And he goes, you all are interesting. A lot different than the ones that are usually here.
Who's that?
What are you going to give me if you want me to give you information?
I mean, what do you want? I don't even know what you are. You won't even tell me your name. I mean, how am I?
That is a predicament. And he turns and he looks at Lula. And it's Lula how you see Lula. All of them. It's Genevieve, Draven, Madge. All of them are how you see when you look in the mirror. They're really there.
I'm gonna nod to each of them.
Yeah. He was like, ooh, I didn't see this coming. And Madge is like, oh, some bullshit. It's like, look at this guy there. They bash his fucking head against the wall over here. And he's like, oh, they're all so charming. Yeah.
They're a fun bunch.
Yeah, the many that collapse into the one, right? Why are you on my ship? Why are you in my town?
I mean, if you have the ability to do this, you don't have the ability to just kind of see the box in her hand and put 2 and 2 together. Like, you seem fairly enlightened, but also fairly confused.
That mad scientist tried poking around at one point. Got him on the wrong people on his trail. Haven't seen him since, really. I don't get out a lot.
The mad scientist.
Oh, he already tried to come in here?
Oh, you can see me.
Hey.
Later on, ask her why she can see me. Because he can't, but she can.
How about we ask now?
That's very
Why is it that you
curious,
can see
isn't it?
things?
This side of the conversation, you all very much hear.
Well, we're not there, but
Well,
Went to the top of the
Reese
back
went to
and
the.
I'm
Did you
waiting.
leave with Reese when Reese went to the top? No, then you were there. You were in the hallway. The only one who's not here to witness this is Reese.
oh, I thought we waited for them to walk off to slam him into the wall, and I
Good
thought they
timing.
kept going.
So it's still a
reason.
hallway. Yeah.
We're walking slowly. We
Yeah.
got stopped by a shadow man.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
Oh, I've been blessed with many gifts.
Oh yeah. Go on.
Shadow Man seems interested. So am I.
Quite.
Yes, too
So's Madge
interested.
here.
I the same as you all. I've been given gifts to pierce the veil. No different than any of y'all's abilities.
I'm gonna try and persuade her.
Roll it.
Might be able to help you if you can tell us what's going on.
If you're really being nice, it's charisma and persuasion.
And
Being genuinely nice.
can I counter this?
Well, let's see how it shakes out first.
Sure.
Ooh, actually.
Because it is not a supernatural compulsion. Like, I mean, there's no way for her to, like, make you do anything. It's
Oh,
just
sure,
to
sure,
what
sure.
extent it makes sense. You know? Or maybe she's going to best you'll fail and we're going to the wall again.
I mean, that's a lot of 100 dice.
I've already been there.
Ooh, that's close. Ooh, that was close. That is no successes.
No.
Almost there.
Fine. Do what you want.
Almost there.
Well, I do not question you about where you got your gifts. There are 5 people in you.
6 total.
I mean,
I'm sorry, there are 6 people in you. I'm not questioning you about that. We all have different abilities and gifts that we've been given.
He looks over at Lula and he's like, I like this one the best, really. She's a lot of fun. Some of you are a bit of an asshole. Hey, look, really,
I think I'm adorable.
I don't actually care if you use the box or not. It really doesn't hurt me or anyone I give a shit about. I just think it's interesting.
Can you hurt others?
I guess that depends on how you look at it. Bikini back there sure didn't seem too happy, did she?
You did that to her.
Oh no, she did it to herself. Her inability to realize the reality of the situation she found herself in. As some of you. And he motions over towards Alquist. Says, some of you have yet to realize the reality of the situation they find themselves in either.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Oh, but they're gonna find out, won't they?
Someone
why
talking
are
about
you
me?
here?
He looked at me for some weird reason.
Why are you here? You seem to be very aware of your state.
Oh, me? Oh, wow. What is it that your kind have? Everybody's always bowing and scraping to one or the other. I guess around here you might say, I'm the captain of this particular ship.
We met the captain already.
Did
Yeah,
you?
a problem with his eye.
That guy? Does he look like he's running shit to you?
Well, what are you the captain of? You've obviously never done that, so,
Oh, I understand. Oh, you seem to think this is a joke. That's, what you're telling me.
I seem to think that if I don't get some answers soon, I'm going to...
You're gonna what?
Fairly
And when he says you're gonna what, the entire ship like it down to its rivets, the entire thing starts to vibrate.
Sir, calm down.
What are you gonna do? Huh? Lila gonna seance me to death? Is Madge gonna punk rock me to death?
I mean, have you ever tried to sit through one of Lula's seances? She might.
Lila's like, that is very true. And you are being very rude to me right now. And I didn't do anything to deserve this kind of treatment.
I love you, Lula, but the turbans
There's a
are
very
bit
rude
much.
shadow here. I'm sorry.
She's like, I thought my turban was
Why
very
don't you
in
keep bringing your
fashion.
box in front?
He says,
Here.
Alright.
when you go to hand the box over, it stops in midair. In
Oh,
between you.
no.
Okay.
I swear I'm trying to give you this box. Why don't
Let
you
me see
take
if
it?
it'll. No,
Completely
that's
frozen.
Okay, that's
Does he have his hand out?
He's not touching it, but he holds his hands out like this, and the box stops. He's like, no.
Box stops here.
No. I think you all need a little lesson. You need to see
Sir,
things as they
stop.
truly are.
I try to compel him.
Yeah, you can roll.
Was it threatening?
Yeah.
Oh, you can
I'm gonna
try.
use this.
You're gonna fail.
St. Valentine. When the box stops, you see the faintest outline of a shadow. You didn't before now,
Yeah.
but you see it's like a very blotchy thing.
What are you?
Up on the deck, Reese.
Yeah, fucking boat just.
Yeah,
It
the
goes.
whole boat's shaking and spitting and cursing. Like, all of this is stupid.
Yeah, it's real fucking annoying. And as soon as I don't have to stop waiting around, I'm looking forward to leaving this boat. But you know, I have to wait for them.
Give me your wits and awareness.
Yeah, sure.
BD, does this make sense to pair this particular compel with manipulation for that power?
Wow.
Yes.
I had a
Well,
quick
6 total dice, though.
shot.
Or whatever.
Not so, well, because
Oh, is it 7?
manipulation.
Okay,
is,
no,
yeah.
then 7 total dice, yes. What did you get, Reese?
8 for critical success.
There are 3 black limos in the parking lot. 2 of them are parked side by side where the windows can kind of align.
Mhm.
And one of them is parked with the headlights pointing towards the Queen Mary.
Is there, can I see any people in there? No one's gotten out yet, I'm presuming.
You can tell from their configuration, the people inside could easily be talking to each other without departing the cars.
Sure, totally.
But there's no one outside.
Not making moves. Any streetwise, I can kind of get a sense of who might be interested here.
You can roll it.
Thank you.
Yes, what'd you get?
4 successes.
Yeah, what is it that you're trying to compel him?
Literally, just stop what you're doing.
Stop it.
He's holding, because literally I'm
Sir?
about to ruin.
Stop what you're doing.
He's like, quite an eventful night you all have had. I think you're due for a greater lesson to increase your collective awareness.
All right, I'm taking my hands off the box.
And how many successes? 3. Does Reese know anything particular about old cars?
Not like it was a particular interest. They could probably identify that one is on site, but not the level of fancy tutoring.
That car's old.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
These are vintage, but they're probably from the 80s, if you had to wager a guess. Just big body, peak American, excessive consumption, like big old Cadillacs, big long hoods.
Yeah, that's some kindred shit.
But
Alright.
they are sparkling and immaculate. Like, they're very well cared for.
That's extremely some kindred shit.
And then you all find yourself on a windswept plateau.
All of us.
All of you.
Are we still holding this box?
It is not there.
Oh shit.
And you all see this man. And the sky is red, and it is all black and dusty and windy. And he turns and he points. He's like, you see that over there? And you see the Los Angeles skyline, which, again, from where you are, way off in the distance, you usually can, but it's much closer. And in the center of it, there is a giant black spire with red swirling masses all around it. And he's like, any idea what that might be?
You brought us here. What the hell?
Would I recognize?
You can make an occult roll.
Can I also make an occult?
You can.
Just a
As-
cult.
Can I-
Anyone
can
with
I?
a cult can.
Am I hearing
Just
my
a
topic?
cult?
You are,
or-
yes. Reese is also there.
All right.
Yeah.
Big Dave, just a cult? Or?
Wits and occult.
I don't
Not
have.
a-
I don't have
a
a cult.
wits and a
I
cult,
just
not
meant other
intelligence and a
knowledge.
cult?
Does this look like what
You
it
can
looks like?
substitute that for your other knowledge.
Oh, okay. Oh.
3 successes.
3? Okay. You are welcome to roll. You might know. You never know what you might have heard.
Maybe.
Yeah. 4?
Yeah, might be a
Okay.
little too young to know this kind of
You
thing.
never know.
So when you get 2 of these ones with the stars,
That's a
That's
crit, so that's
4.
4.
that's 4. I got a total of 6.
Oh, nice. I
Okay.
just have 3.
You,
That's right.
St.
Occult
Valentine,
knowledge.
Yeah, you've read about this. You've theorized the nature of life and death, both in your mortal world and the past, and you've heard it theorized that in the afterlife there are structures that can rise up that serve different functions at different times. And if there is enough misery collected in a place over a long enough period of time, these towers appear as a form of almost like a sort of antenna, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know what this is. This is a lot of concentrated bad makes one of those.
Great. Is this you? Did you do this?
This isn't the work of one person.
Who do you think I am?
I mean, I don't know. You won't tell me your name.
I really had no theories, honestly.
That is oh, hello. Hi, all of you. And again, you see the man in the immaculate suit, but here he is much clearer defined. His features are much sharper. His suit looks much nicer. His muscles are much larger. His smile goes higher, and his teeth are whiter.
This where he's transported us to, is this what I usually see?
Yes. This is different. Who's with us currently? Sorry, I lost track. Being all of you. Draven and St. Valentine. You've seen, the unseen. You've seen ghosts. You've seen specters. This is different. This is real. When you're looking down at your shoes, the dust that is blowing is on you. The heat that you feel on your face, you feel.
Yeah, this is not a vision. We're here. We're physically here.
And do you know why everyone hates you? Why the lupines hate you? Why the mages hate you? Why the wraiths specifically hate you?
Is there some prejudice?
Because they want what we have. They want power.
Quite the opposite.
You want weakness?
It's not for what you have. It's for what you don't. You're all missing something fundamental. And when he says fundamental, in your own mind, you have the clearest vision of the happiest day in your life. When the sun was shining on your face, and there was joy and laughter and love and peace and happiness and music and fun and action. And your heart was pounding in your chest, and it was so real. It was so real, and you've forgotten what it was like, and you feel their hands in yours. You feel their lips on yours. You feel the hair brush across your face, and the birds are singing, and the sun is shining, and then you are back in this terrible, barren place. I didn't do that to you. I didn't take that from you. But it's gone, and what's left is this. And when he says this, you all see what the wraiths see when they look at you, which is your body over the years, the decay, the wear, skulls, hands, worn and horrible. You, St. Valentine, might actually fit in some sort of Victorian macabre display. Even you, Valentina, worn, but visibly still a person, desiccated, but maybe someone could make you out. The rest of you are, actually, and even you, Reese, you might pass for really great effects makeup, maybe, if you squint. The rest of you, though, are decrepit and terrible. I must say, I don't envy you in your predicament.
You're not much better there, Cheshire Cat.
How would you prefer I look? And when he looks at you,
to each his own.
For a second, he looks like him, the one you lost, oh so long ago. Would this be better? Is this more pleasing? I can be whatever you like. Oh, is that no?
Necessary.
Are you trying to get us to do something or not do something?
Neither. Me, I've got all the time in the world.
So you're just going to lecture us?
on being vampires.
Oh, I was trying to increase your overall level of awareness. Your place in the grand scheme of things.
I think we're all pretty aware of what we are.
Are you?
Some of us have had quite a while to come to terms with it.
Have you, Tiger Lily?
Why?
Why what?
This. Us. Now.
Oh, hello.
Lula, hi. He pulls a very bright white handkerchief out. He's like, do you mind?
What was all this about?
Dabs the blood tears from your cheeks. Looks at it for a second and tosses it to St. Valentine. Like, I understand you might have some use for such things. Here's the question that I've posed to myself over some time. If I'm being honest with you, even I can't tell you how long I've been. Time is different here. Is this place the reflection of yours? Is yours the reflection of ours? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? I love that song, you know.
This is simply where you walk, not us.
Oh, I don't just walk here. And behind him, a large pyramid starts coming out of the ground. And he's like, I'm somewhat of a big deal. I just can't always have my way in your world.
Are we still dead looking? Undead looking?
You are. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry. And you return to the versions of yourselves that you're accustomed to seeing. Yeah. He's like, I think you're going to find soon that you are at the crossroads of events that you have no comprehension about. I, for my part, mean you no harm. I'm a humble observer.
Is there any advice you could offer on all of this?
Oh, advice. He stops for a second and he says, family is the most important thing. And you all find yourself at the front of the Queen Mary, down in the hold, exactly where you were heading at. The wall, the top of the ship is right there in front of you. You can see where it's come to a head at the stern of the ship. And you are holding the box once again.
Okay.
And Reese is there?
The Reese is there.
Do I feel...
The compulsion is lifted.
Okay.
Because you perform the action to the best of your ability.
That is true.
You were there until we were all together.
Right.
How's,
What would you
how are
like
their
to do?
faces?
Well, actually, the burns were still there, and they will be there until you heal an aggravated wound.
Okay.
So we're in the spot we're supposed to be in with this box that Dr. Cornelius told us to bring it to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so I'm gonna look over at Valentina and go, well, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not quite sure I'd trust her to do that.
I don't trust her at all.
Well, why would they listen to your opinion? Why? I'm just moving the box. You just want me to place the box here?
Are you going to turn it on?
Oh, is it off again?
When you open it, it is off.
Oh,
What do the ghosts look like right now, y'all?
what do the ghosts look like?
Pardon.
There's not any. For the first time you've set foot on this ship, there's been someone every step of the way, looking out of a porthole, walking around behind you, working. There's no one. You could hear a pin drop.
This all seems very suspicious.
Well,
One
What do you
hasn't
think?
been today, so.
It's just oddly quiet. I mean, like, calm before a storm kind of quiet.
Even if I peer past into the Shadowland.
You find you can't.
And if it's quiet, we probably don't need to use this box today. No use consuming an
I'm gonna
asset.
turn it on.
The entire ship, and you see it start to like hum and kind of like a green glow kind of starts coming from the cracks and seams inside the box. Just, And even you, who cannot sense the ghost directly, feel a sort of weight lifted off of this place. A sort of pressure disperses.
Good. I am glad.
Valentina, your phone buzzes with a text message.
Let's say.
What have you done? And that's a good place for us to stop for today. Yeah. So, you know, it's cool, no big deal, like it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. All of this
Magic
is fine.
and ghosts.
You in danger, girl.
Ghosts, not even once.
Yeah.
Never ghosts.
Yeah, no.
The Shadow Man repeats my motto back to me.
Oof. Ooh, that must be so hard for you. Oh dear.
That must be real rough. So again, thank you all for tuning in for episode 2, The Gray Ghost. Real quick again, let's give everyone our socials and where to find us here.
Hey, I'm Alquin Gersh, different elves on Twitch and Twitter, and you should watch We're Live Frontier on Monday nights on twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry.
Right.
8 p.m.
Different taste of horror, but still with us.
Yeah.
Well, with us eventually. You right now. Me eventually.
Hi. I'm Ash Vinnick. I'm Astronaut44 on Instagram and Moonclad_Ash on the Twitters. You can see me on various things right here on this channel starting October 28th. We're doing a new show whose title will be announced later.
Are there any live events you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, come to the Alamo Draft House. Game nights start October 17th and will be every Thursday. And more stuff will happen as soon as we get our permits.
Womp womp. Okay.
Hi, I'm Sam Delepp. You can find me on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky. In a few hours, you are welcome to pop over to Saving Throw Show at 5 p.m. for Tempting Fate, where we have some great shenanigans planned. And on Mondays, you can find me on Plunders and Blunders, the D&D adventure podcast I do with my friends. And right here on this channel, on Friday, we get the premiere of Geist. If you didn't get enough Ghosts today, oh baby, all Ghosts all the time, 6:30 p.m. on QueueTimes.
But like German
this Friday.
ghosts.
Yeah.
Geist.
That do make them better.
Geist.
That's or worse. Or worse, yes.
I mean, ghosts and pretzels and beer. That sounds like a good time to make. That's every October for me.
Pretzel
Like jovial chocolate loving ghosts?
Starting in September. That's every October for me. I approve.
Ghostoberfest?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Get it trending. Yeah.
October
Must be
ghosts.
So, I am Melee. You can find me on the socials. Melee Damage, MAYLEIGH. And yeah, I have a Twitch channel, Melee Damage as well. You can see me and B-Dave playing Elder Scrolls, fragging noobs. Also, we do a little Patreon gaming together and play some vampire, just so little tiny. So yeah, add me, and I'm playing Lula the Malkavian with multiple personality disorder. So check in.
Yeah,
I
sure.
ramble.
Is it a disorder or is it an opportunity, really? Yeah.
I'm Josephine McAdam, and I was playing Valentina Sartori. You can find me at JCVIM on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I have some horror anthology films coming out in different film festivals right now. The Mortuary Collection and Scare Package, check those out if you can. And sometimes I'm on TBD-RPG, and other times I'm on LA by Night. Things,
We do
places,
things.
check socials.
And it turned out a not insignificant amount of the time in our Patreon.
Oh, yes, I
and
do.
On the Discord, yeah.
I do mess about as Eva in the. I say Patreon. Is it not Patreon? I think
I say
I'm right.
Patreon.
Sometimes you say Patreon.
I mean, I'm from Arkansas, man. It's like you can't judge based on that. I do believe it's Patreon.
Don't patronize.
Yeah.
Don't
Right,
patronize.
but
It's
the
patronage.
No, it's a
The patron
patron.
of the art. Yeah,
The
it could be
patrons of
Patreon.
the
Makes
art.
sense.
Hey, Dartani, tell us who you are.
Sorry.
I'm no one. No,
You're everyone in here.
Oh, thank you. Hi, I'm D'Artagnan Italiano, and I'm playing the extremely loved Alphonse Lassier of the show. That's all you need to know, really. You can find me at all the socials the same. It's Da Mataliano, or Da Mataliano if you are, yeah, you gotta be gangsta about it.
We keep it street.
Exactly. I'm doing like some silly little theater things, nothing crazy. But when they are live, also you all better be there, just so you know.
You have to tell us about
Yes.
You get, like, tickets and
But
stuff,
this
yeah.
time
Like
is-
details.
But like
So-
warning, like don't call me like the day of. I'm busy.
I'm gonna call you the day of.
They call everyone in chat the day of.
Like, you can get advance notice.
You missed it? What?
Was that it? Don't let me interrupt you.
No. I have an OnlyFans. You can catch me this way. That's for later.
Is the fashion line out and about? Is it in the wild?
Actually,
yet?
yes. I have a clothing company.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a clothing company. I don't know why I never plugged this.
I don't know.
I've had it
because
for like a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
That's why I'm the marketing expert.
That
Yes.
seems huge.
I'm
What's
very
the
bad at
name?
marketing.
The name.
With Forgotten Culture Clothing. You can find us on all the same socials. It's actually FCC or FC Clothing, and definitely follow there. If you comment or say anything, there's prizes of free clothing. Nothing else free. That's about it. Back to Dave.
Everything else will cost you dinner. Yes, B. Dave Walters, thank you for tuning in. Our friends over at McStabber Studios are going live today after us at twitch.tv/McStabber Studios. So you get a little Long Beach by night, and then little McStabber Studios, DC Vampire, and then a little Tempting Fate. Like you can have like a whole like Scooby-Doo sandwich of content. And you got the tiniest little taste of what Mage is like and what Wraith is like. And if you want to do more, play more of these games, play with some of us, we're doing it on Patreon. And on the Discord, there's roleplay going literally 24 hours a day. So patreon.com/BDaveWalters. And again, I'm going to attempt to have a silky smooth transition out of this when I hit the switch. The best thing about this, there's literally 2 buttons. I have a 50% chance, and I still might find a way to do this wrong. There it is. Yeah, here we go. Best you'll fail. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.